What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. And this podcast is brought to you by Merrick Health. And if you go to merrickhealth.com/RBP, you're going to see two blood panels of mine. One is a guided optimization, and the second is just the blood panel. Now, if you click on just the blood panel, you're going to get everything you need. And at checkout, you're just going to put code RBP and you'll get that blood panel for $108. So it's a small price to pay to get checked and make sure that you're trending in the right direction and you're healthy so that your body can grow and do what it needs to do while you're bodybuilding. So guys, get to merrickhealth.com/RBP or just go to merrickhealth.com and use code RBP at checkout. Get the blood panel done, get your health checked, get your hormones checked. Make sure that everything is moving in the right direction so you can keep growing and keep getting better on the way to your goals. I was doing some rate your physiques.
Oh, were you just now?
Yeah, I was knocking them out. I just saw this 19-year-old kid. He's got 3 years of training under his belt. He's natural, and he's jacked as fuck.
Really? Bodybuilder?
Yeah, man. Genetics are a wild thing, man. It's like this kid. I should go back and show you this. This is crazy. You know what? I'm gonna highlight this just because. So for people wondering, the realbodybuildingpodcast.com has a rate your physique section. You can sign up at realbodybuildingpodcast.com if you want to enter and have your physique rated and be part of the predictions, fantasy league. Oh, and consultations too. Those of you who want to have consultations with any of us, our calendars are here with availability. Ian has some availability here. Paul's, I think, is set up now.
Yeah, I finished it yesterday.
Wow, you have availability every day.
No, I'm not available those days. I have to update that.
Well, you better update it before somebody signs up.
Oh, I can't. I have to agree. But I don't know how it works yet.
Well, you have to. Okay. Well, you have to go in and make sure you remove the dates because otherwise people will just sign up.
Okay. Like I don't have to accept that or nothing like that. It just automatically books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you make yourself available, in the calendar, then people can just sign up.
Oh,
I hope so many people sign up right now.
I know. Everybody go to Paul's calendar and fill it.
I'm busy. I got a busy week, Fouad.
I gotta tell Ian this before we move on.
We got fucking 20 requests today. Jesus Christ.
Ian, you got to hear this.
Sup?
Are you there?
I'm there.
So I'm showing everybody the Real Bodybuilding podcast. So I wanted to highlight this one kid that I was doing some rate your physiques before we came on, and I was showing everybody the consultation section, and your guys all availability. Mike, I don't know if yours is up here yet.
What?
Yeah. So everybody's I'm showing their availability, right? So I go to Paul's, and Paul's available every single day.
Except I'm not.
What are the times? Every time?
There's about a 30-minute window there on some of those days.
Except he's not actually available, so people can go sign up. He thought he had to accept him. He doesn't. So everybody watching, before he removes it, sign up.
Book in. I did one today actually.
You're gonna be sitting there all day long, just like
and they call sick from work just to do these.
Just to do consultations. Yeah. Anyway, look.
Did one this afternoon. Yeah.
Before we start, how was it? How was it like a bodybuilding one or was it a fan one or what kind of? I know.
Yeah, he was like a guy that'd been kind of out of the game, competed when he was younger, when he was 19. And then, kind of just had some injuries and some other shit happen, like shoulder and some fucking stuff happened, and kind of been out of the game from 19 to 25. Now he's 25 and he wants to get back into the game wants to compete and get up to higher levels, and was kind of just ask me what I thought to get back in it and where to start and coaches to work with. And it was a good conversation to do his show. So
I like it.
I've done a few of them now.
Yeah. I like the consultations because they come everybody kind of comes with their own. They're not all the same. Everyone.
No, they're all completely different.
The first guy wanted to talk to me about business. The second guy wanted to talk to me about prep.
Did I tell you guys about the Asian dude I did one with?
You said you did one with an Asian guy, but you didn't tell me about.
Was it the weird Asian guy that's been writing you on Instagram?
No, this
That
guy.
guy.
It was just like some fucking rich Asian kid. He was like driving in this fucking fancy car because he was in China or like somewhere over there. So it was like the middle of the night when I did it for him.
Okay.
And he's like chilling in his fucking like, I don't know, Audi or BMW, whatever, with like one of his buddies sitting in the passenger seat, like rolling around town on this thing. And he's like, yo, I just fuck. He's like, over here, people pay ridiculous money to like do shit with influencers. So I saw $150. So, you know, figured we just shoot the shit for 30 minutes. And he's just like driving around town. We just like shot the shit. Yeah.
That's cool.
What did you talk to him about for half an hour?
Just fucking random stuff. I don't know. Like,
Fuck, that's all right.
I was like, what do you do over there? He's like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't do anything. He's like, I got rich. He's like, I got rich parents. I'm just fucking chilling over here, training, whatever, you know. Like,
That's fucking
that's cool.
awesome.
yeah, he was,
All right.
cool. He was a cool dude for sure.
I wanted to show you this. I was doing some rate your physiques before you guys came on, and I was kind of blown away by this this kid's physique. So where the fuck did he go? This kid. Look at this kid's 19 years old.
Gus.
This kid's 19 years old.
Whoa.
He's only been training for 3 years, and he's natural.
What?
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
This is him like in prep. And I kind of believe he's natural because
Look at that fucking jawline on this motherfucker, bro. He,
It's like
he looks
Superman.
like the guy that acted the original Superman. You're right.
He's
yeah.
like he's like natural except for GH.
That's what it looks like. Yeah,
He's taking no hormone, just like 40 units of growth hormone. Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I believe he's
maturity,
natural.
too.
Like when you see that side chest, like if
the
you look,
skin,
go back
yeah,
to the side
yeah,
chest.
the skin
Yeah.
texture kind of tells it.
Well, in the side chest, you can see here kind of the shape of like the muscles, like the delt and the arm. Like the
Yeah.
arm's kind of too big for the delt, and like that's kind of a very natural look. I believe it 100%, but that's fucking freak ass genetics for sure,
Isn't it for 19 years old?
Yeah, it's outrageous.
It's
I
crazy.
can't even get over that kid that you signed, though. I mean, that's the best 19-year-old bodybuilder in history. It's ridiculous.
Okay, this is hilarious though. So, okay, I'm going to show people what you're talking about real quick, just in case they forgot from
This
last
kid
week.
doesn't even make sense.
But before I show you Albertus, I got to show you this fucking kid. So this is Payton. We signed Payton last year.
Crazy too.
He's like 8 months. We signed him like 9 months ago. He's natural. This is him natural. And then he posted this. Look at him.
What the fuck?
Is it still natural there?
Ran his first cycle.
Yeah. Down in the pharmacy.
I told him, I
that's
said,
impressive, man.
I said, you can't be natural if you're on HOSSTILE. So you either got to get on some gear or I'm going to fire you. So, so this was the result like 2 months
Fuck
later.
everything. Even his calves. He's got a big ass set of calves on him too.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking, this is like a Lee Priest, man.
Yeah.
This
That's what he looks like.
This kid's young as fuck.
Yeah. How old is this guy?
I don't
Early
know.
20s?
I think he's like early 20s or fucking 21 or something. I don't know, but I couldn't believe this. He
kids
put
these
on.
days, man.
So I asked him. So I see him post this. So I sent him a message. I'm like, Peyton, man, you don't look natural anymore. He's like, I'm not. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, what the fuck happened? He goes, well, I'm doing what I'm doing, whatever. I'm like, my doctor put me on some TRT. I'm like, that's not TRT. I'm like, what do you take? He's like, he told me the truth. He's like, they put me on 200 milligrams, and he's like, I exploded, and my stretch marks were actually like splitting. So they reduced it to 150. He's like, I put on 30 pounds. I'm like, this kid's a fucking hyper responder, man.
Yeah,
this is
that's-
crazy.
What doctor would prescribe a 19-year-old
Yeah.
TRT?
He must
What are
have
you
some
talking
type of an
about?
issue.
Stop
It's crazy.
saying that.
I actually used to work with a kid that
Well,
when
it's-
I
I
was
think
like he had 20 or 21,
Yeah.
and he was like feeling pretty shitty, like low sex drive, and he was 19 or 20, 21, something in there. And he went and got his test levels checked, and he was at like 150 nanograms at that age.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
they put him on like 180 milligrams a week, and that brought him up to like 800,
Yeah.
And he's been chilling on that forever,
Just
I
so
also
peop-
met a kid that was like a fucking this one guy I used to work with when I worked at Costco a long time ago, and he was like super short, and he got a script for like a good chunk of GH as well.
Yeah. Just so people don't roast Peyton, he was fucking around when he said TRT to me. He wasn't serious. He was just messing
Oh, okay.
around. He's got a good sense of humor, this kid. Anyway, I'll bring up the other kid you were talking about just so people don't know. Albertus,
Yeah, plug your
we
athletes
saw.
here.
Well, this is just wild. That's why
No,
I'm
I know,
plugging.
but you should. He's crazy.
Albertus, we signed 6 months ago, and people are finally taking notice because, like, look at the fucking reels. Look at the numbers on these reels.
I know.
750, 1.4 million, 2.2 million. Like, people are finally starting to see.
Look at that shot on him there. That would be
Yeah.
two
So
shorts.
check out these fucking photos, man. This kid's 19 years old, man. Look at his
Holy
legs.
fuck.
Everything, man.
Like
Look
this
at
is people like genetics are, and you got to see it. He posted a picture of his dad because his dad was a bodybuilder. I don't know if it's still in his stories.
I think it's still up there.
I don't know if it. I think it's gone. It was yesterday.
Oh,
He posted a picture of his father in the stories, and his dad had a good, impressive physique too.
yeah. His dad competed in like the 70s and looked really good.
Oh yeah.
Look at this, Paul. Look at this kid's legs.
I know. Look at the quads on it. It's good arms too.
It's like peak
Wow,
genetics.
fuck.
you know? Even the back
Yeah.
of it. What the fuck?
This is like a
Crazy
Mr.
shape,
This is a Mr. Olympia in the making.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Like I don't know. I can't. You know, Ian, we do physique breakdowns. Me, you, and Paul every weekend. Do you see anything missing?
No. I mean,
It's crazy.
I mean, you know, I think he needs like his obviously is posing, like his left quad there is like not nearly like he's not staying on some posing stuff, but like muscle group wise, he's pretty fucking balanced, man. Like everything looks great. Arms are good, lats are good, waist is tiny, chest is developed.
Yeah.
You know,
Good kid too. I'm happy for him. Yeah, he's a good kid. He's
from Lithuania, right?
Yeah, he's Lithuanian. I think he said the show he was doing is in Latvia. I think. I don't want to. I might be mistaken, but he's doing a one show and then he's going to do a pro qualifier. So hopefully, this kid might be a pro by the end of the year. Who knows?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Mike, how was your launch? You launched your supplements last week. When we talked before, it was like the day after. How did everything go?
No one bought anything.
Fuck.
Zero.
You know what?
Just fucking tanked.
That
like crazy.
happens. That happens.
I
It's okay.
bought some, Mike.
Yeah. Crack a few eggs, Mike.
Yeah. We're refinancing the house as we speak.
No, seriously.
No,
was it-
well, no, it ran really well. It's been going well since it happened on launched on Friday. So I've been getting good feedback from people. Appreciate
Good.
everyone who's supported. So
Good, man.
it's good. It's not like it's just getting your feet wet and getting into this thing, right? So it's not like you're expecting all this like it's this massive thing that's gonna whatever. It's just giving people more to be a part of when it comes to your brand, right? And getting yourself into a new space. So
You know what I realized? You know what I realized about business, and maybe not. This isn't just business. Maybe it's anything that you want to be like really, really good at. There are people that kind of just it clicks right away, and then there are people that are like slow grow, and eventually they get to where they want to be. And then there's people that just never make it. But like when I think of bodybuilding, you think of like people that just click, right? You think of people like Phil Heath, like he was just kind of born with, not that he didn't work hard, but he had the genetics to just kind of explode onto the scene.
Gift.
Or like even that Albertus kid, like that kid's obviously born with this gift, right? So like you think of people like Lee Priest, like people who just kind of have it, right? And in business, it's kind of the same thing. Like I've heard stories. Like I was watching a Christian Guzman interview from Alpha Elite, and he was saying like the day they launched their clothing, he kept checking his like Shopify or whatever his payment processor is. I can't remember what he said. And it was just like 30,000, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000. And he was like just shocked at like the impact he had in the very first fucking day. And it's like, it's hard to wrap your mind around because you compare yourself to people all the time, whether it be physique wise or business wise or career wise. So, but everybody kind of grows at their own rate, I guess. And I don't know. I just thought of it because you were saying you're just dipping your toe and you're not like expecting anything. So I think it's interesting how there are different ways, obviously, to get to the end result. And you see people come on and snap right away and get there. And then for some people, it makes them feel worse about themselves. But I think everybody has to realize like you get there on your own pace.
I also think it's a matter of like those are rare, very rare instances where things just pop off instantly, right? But it's also about being able to. You might do very well to begin with, but it's about sustaining your customers and keeping them around and having retention, right? Like you may have all these sales, but in the years leading up or months leading on, it's like starts to trickle down. Then you start to be like, well, what the fuck do I do? Like it was so good. Like you don't remember what you did. You were just being you, right? So it's like you try to become something you're not, and the next thing you know, you're having to like do stuff you didn't want to do or collabs you didn't want to do, or I mean, like you start to sacrifice what you wanted to do to begin with to like kind of keep yourself going.
Right.
Whereas I'd just be more happy having like the people that are dedicated to me or that like my brand, as long as you're like happy and sticking around and the word spreads like, and this thing slowly grows. I'd rather have that over anything. Cause I mean, it'd be awesome to fucking flick open your Shopify and be like, well, there's $500,000 in my fucking.
Yeah. No,
But at the same time, it's like, fuck, man. Like,
I guess
that's very rare.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is it can be discouraging. And even to me, when I'm not saying this is for other people, like even to me or some other people I talk to, like this kind of thing can be discouraging when you're bodybuilding and you see somebody maybe that started after you and they just like their physique just develops and yours is not developing. And you're like, why is my physique not developing like that guy? That guy's fucking going to be a pro and I'm not. Like, I've been working just as hard. So it's kind of like the same thing across the board. And it's just, I just thought, I don't know, just kind of the thought came to mind that it's interesting that everybody kind of makes their own way in their own way. So I don't know. Anyway, Ian, how's your app doing? We haven't talked about it.
Great. Yeah. Chugging along, you know how apps are. They're just kind of like, it's just like a continuous flow, like very consistent people coming on, like, and you just keep, I mean, the thing with tech products like that is it never ends.
Yeah.
It's like you spent a year doing development and then the app is out and then the amount of time and effort you put into the development is still an ongoing process forever.
Yeah.
Like there's always bug fixes, new features. You have to always be evolving it and growing it and, adding new things and fixing little things that once you have, a lot of people on there that they start to, you find little new fucking quirks and bugs and you fix them and you move on, you just keep going. So It's good though. I mean, it's not something I would do again, but I mean, I'm happy with the outcome for sure. So it's just kind of fucking keep rolling with it,
Paul, what's going on with you?
Well, you see me every day, Fouad. So,
The people at home don't see you every day.
true. Well, things are busy right now at work, and we got our Detroit show next weekend. So
Detroit show. We may have had a big meeting with Powerhouse today.
we did.
Powerhouse has a seminar this weekend. They didn't give me. Did they give you the information?
I have it. Yes, I do. They're doing
Okay.
a posing seminar on Sunday.
Let's make this announcement really quick. Powerhouse is doing a seminar this weekend with Sandy Williams. Is that her name?
Sandy,
Powerhouse Gym in Detroit.
it's actually at Lincoln High School, but it's
But Powerhouse is putting it on.
yeah. Sandy Williamson's going to be there. Remy Berninga and Joe Pishkula.
So they're all
IFBB pro judges.
all IFBB judges. So if you want to be seen by a judge and have your physique critiqued or your posing critiqued, this is the seminar to go to. Where is it at? Paul?
We want to
Lincoln
pay
High
off
School.
the judge. They'll be accepting payments that day.
They actually, it's what interesting you said that. It's interesting you said that. I found out today that it's free.
Yeah.
Because they're not allowed to charge for this thing.
Yeah.
So
Judges can't charge for posing seminars.
judges aren't allowed to make money at seminars. So anybody who wants to go to this thing, it's free. Just show up. But they can register. Can't they register somewhere ahead of time? Or you don't have that?
Yes. There is a place to register, or there's a site here. Michigan NPC. Michigan NPC site.
This is the Sunday after your show or this weekend?
No, this weekend. This weekend coming up. Where is it?
MichiganNPC.org.
MichiganNPC.org. You can sign up.
Yep.
And then where is it located?
Lincoln High School, which is in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
All right. Anybody, I would suggest, listen, we're not getting anything out of this, and it's free, so they're not getting anything out of this, but you guys can get something out of it if you need help, like I said, with posing or physique critiques. This is the time to do it before your competition season gets started. Or if you're competing in Detroit next week and you want somebody to look at you before you do the show, this is the place to go do it. So check it out there. But yeah, we have Detroit next week. But before we get into Detroit, I wanted to talk about this update.
I know.
Oh, I saw that.
Even the front double and shit looked. Some of his pics looked really good. Yeah, these. Yeah,
Is he
his side leg?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something. So Bob made the comment about having an H physique, right? An H-shaped physique instead of a Y. For people at home watching, instead of a Y or an X frame. An X frame is what everybody wants. He looks like an H, meaning he's very blocky. But Jay Cutler was also seen as being very blocky, and he won 4 fucking Olympias.
Yeah, he's fucking huge. It's open bodybuilding, bro.
I know that. So this is the question I'm asking you. Can Nick overcome any shape issues that he has with the physique by adding more size? Because he looks bigger than last year.
I mean, he's beat a lot of guys with a lot better shape than him. So yes, yeah.
Like this looks like a lot thicker Nick Walker.
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
Do we like the abs stretched out like that? I
like them flexing.
I prefer them flexed down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially because with the shorts on, it doesn't look bad, but I feel like it's going to make him look stumpy when he's in trunks.
He did post one with abs flexed like not that long ago.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
It looks like he's
yeah.
bringing up the sweep on his quads
See, like
too.
that looks for fucking like 8
Yeah.
weeks out. That's pretty good, man. His waist
Yeah.
looks pretty solid there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if that just keeps getting spot, even if it was like this and he was just in show condition, I wouldn't be mad about it. So if that came down even more, I'd be happy with it for sure.
Somebody did a comparison. Who was it that? Fuck, I saw a comparison today or yesterday with Nick and Vito, I think. Oh no, it was this one
Oh,
too.
I saw that. Yeah.
This one too that I saw. Where there was another one though, I thought with Vito and
Right up there.
Right there.
where?
Go
It
back.
was above that post.
Yeah. Right there.
Oh, there we go. Okay, this is
I think people, because Vito lost to Martin last year, so like he kind of flew under the radar, forget how fucking good this guy is.
I
you
know.
Like this is a top 8 bodybuilder, 100%, you know?
So upper body, I give that post to Nick. Lower body, I give it to Vito.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So who would we give it to?
Well,
Overall?
I give it from lat insertions down to Vito.
Yes.
Like midsection, quads, calves, all go to Vito.
Yeah.
From the front, at least. From the back, obviously, Nick's hamstrings are.
So overall pose, who do you guys give this to?
I like Vito in that shot.
Paul?
I would probably lean to Vito as well.
I'm going to lean towards Nick only because I feel like this is not an accurate depiction of the
Size.
overall size of the person.
Yeah, I was just going on the picture alone.
I mean, Vito is pretty fucking big, though.
No, I know, but I think structurally, I think Nick
Yeah.
is a thicker, bigger person.
I think
And
you
you
can
could-
see the difference more in like a side chest and shit for sure.
You could point to Nick's detail on that pose too.
Like there, you can see, especially in the upper body, the difference in thickness, the delt, the arm,
yeah.
the chest.
That pose I give to Nick.
Yeah, even though that's Nick's weakest pose, I still have him winning that one.
yeah.
Yeah. That I give to Nick.
Yeah,
I mean, this is pretty fucking crazy, but the balance here is much better.
Mhm.
I don't feel like this is accurate.
Yeah.
Like this is because this is closer to the camera. I feel like
Well, Vito was very, very strong in the back lat. I remember it's his back double, if there's one of those, which was the harder pose for him, where Martin really like separated himself. His back lat I actually thought was really good, and obviously his glutes and hamstrings are fucking crazy.
I got Nick in this
Nick's-
shot.
Do you?
Yeah.
In this picture, I think I have Vito, but
Me too, but I agree. I don't know if it's accurate.
I don't agree with that. His Nick's legs are filled out much better. His Vito's conditioning looks better in this because skin texture.
well, this is also on the fucking Detroit Pro stage, which is like the
Yeah.
most ridiculous lighting of all.
But if
time.
we're going legs, Nick's legs are more filled out, and if you go to upper body, the lats sink lower down. Like
Yeah.
they're just more lat overall.
I think because of the lighting, I'm just wowed by the conditioning on the left
Yeah.
side. But I think I do agree
Yeah.
with you. If it was in comparable light, Nick would probably look a little better in that shot. And then the back double, I think, is
That's Nick's too, yeah.
Nick
That's
also.
Nick for sure.
That's
This gap in here versus this gap, and I actually think it's a posing issue.
it's opposing his hips.
Yeah,
are too
because
forward.
he's
Yeah.
pulling his hips all the way forward. It's sucking in the adductor there.
Vito squats down very low when he poses. I think he'd
yeah, like
benefit
look
from
how
standing
far
up
out
more.
his knees are, and he's squatting
Yeah.
right down.
He's
He's
doing,
and it's actually gotten better than when he first started.
somebody should tell him that because he could probably have the same look that Nick has here if he was standing up.
If he stood the way Nick's standing, that's a different pose for him, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I give to Vito.
I agree.
Yeah.
That I give to Nick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what is
Vito's
it?
got a great most muscular, but Nick's most muscular.
So is it like four
ridiculous.
poses to 3?
Yeah, 4-3, 4-2, something.
There's
like
no
that,
side tricep in here. That would be the only tiebreaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but Nick's side.
Nick's
try
got
is
a great side
really
try.
good.
Yeah. That's interesting. And then we have this one here. I mean, this is Nick's worst look, and this is Martin's best look. So that's kind of not fair, but
It's not a great picture of Martin there.
it's the best we got. The thing is, I just talked to Martin today, and he's still a lot heavier than he was at the Olympia.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to result on stage, but he's still really heavy for.
I
8
love
weeks out.
Martin's. Martin's got like this Justin Compton-esque side chest, which I just love. You know,
Yeah, the roundness
looks
of the
just
muscle
like
is crazy.
Compton. Yeah.
Yeah. His back thickness is good.
Yeah,
Nick's
wider.
arms. Nick's arms.
Nick knows how to hit that pose so well too. He stands
Yeah.
so nice and upright. Leg positioning and hip positioning is perfect. Like
You know what I
it just
find-
flows so well. Like his X frame looks crazy on that shot.
I find it wild that somebody Nick's size can stand upright and get their arms back this far.
I know. Nick practices posing a lot though.
Martin's
That's a good shot for Martin.
Yeah, like this is a Martin shot, man.
Yeah, I agree. I love Martin in that one.
Is it just me, or it was just me, or is Martin lean back a lot in his back
He's leaned
shots?
back too
Leaning
far.
back.
Yeah,
He does, but he does it all the time, though, doesn't he? When he poses his back.
Yeah, he's doing like the Phil Heath lean back.
That's a good shot for fucking Martin too.
Yeah, it's a great shot for both of them.
It's gonna be a good fucking show, man.
I know. Vito in there too. It's gonna be nuts. Same with Classic, man. Terrence, have you seen these pictures of Terrence?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Top there. No, go in the middle. There's photos that are recent there. Up there. Go to the right. Look at these at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking nuts, man. Him versus Mike and that Josema guy also that came top 5 at the Olympia last year. I mean, this is going to be a crazy show in Pittsburgh.
I don't know if that Josema guy can compete with these two though.
No, I don't think he can compete, but I'm just saying in terms of depth of the lineup, you have 3 guys in that are all Olympia top 5. You know, Terrence has won Arnold's. He's been second at the Olympia. You have Mike, who's just won an Arnold, second at the Olympia. I mean, it's a fucking wild lineup.
That's going to be an interesting matchup.
I have a question for you, Ian, and I don't want to argue about this.
No, okay.
We're not going to.
I got my video out. It's all done now.
Okay, I just have one question because something you said in the video.
Okay.
You said that Classic is bodybuilding.
To a degree, it is. It is a bodybuilding class.
No, but you were basically saying it's judged like bodybuilding.
Well, I think it's judged similar to bodybuilding. I don't think it's judged the same as bodybuilding. I think this is how I see it. Most good classic guys could be good bodybuilders. Not all good bodybuilders could be good classic guys. So like you take let's say someone like
Nick. Nick can't be a classic guy.
Or like what's the fucking Angel Calderon? Shorter guy, wouldn't be crazy much over his 212 or his classic weight. That's not a classic physique. We all can attest.
Well,
to that.
we were just talking about this on
the point that I used is if the muscularity is enhancing your aesthetics or detracting from your aesthetics. So someone like Angel or Nick have so much muscularity to the point that it looks good and it's very nice in terms of a muscular bodybuilding sense, but it's detracting from their aesthetics. Or someone like Mike, he's because of the weight.
Hold on. I don't want you to explain all this. You already put out a video.
Sure. Yeah.
I just want you to answer one question for me.
Yep.
And again, I'm not disagreeing with you about anything you said. It was a very, very articulate video, put out well. Everything was well thought out. I don't necessarily agree 100%, but I agree under the context that you were talking about. Actually, I just want to say something Paul said on the last podcast that actually I think makes a lot of sense and is we see happening before our eyes. Every class ends up being bodybuilding by the time you're done. Like if you look at men's physique, for example, the first men's physique winner was what's his name from Las Vegas?
Yeah,
Mark Anthony. Okay, Mark Anthony shows
Toronto.
up. Yeah, from Toronto.
Yep.
Mark Anthony shows up. Mark Anthony shows up, looks like a beach body, right? Next year somebody shows up with a beach body but more shredded. Oh, we got to give it to the more shredded guy. The year after, somebody shows up more shredded and a little bit bigger. Oh, great. Well, we got to give it to that guy. Fast forward 10 years or 20 years, now we have fucking Ryan Terry, who's doesn't look anything like fucking Mark Anthony.
Yeah, he looks 20 times better.
Right. So everything eventually goes back to the biggest and most shredded guy.
Well, no, because Ryan Terry is not even close to the biggest guy in the lineup, and he's won the last 2 years, and he's actually one of the smaller guys in that lineup, but he has an almost perfect men's physique. So, I think there's guys that are a lot bigger in the lineups than him. Many guys that are way bigger in the lineup than him. So I think Ryan Terry is actually the worst example to use of that. But I understand what you're saying. Look, there's going to be a natural progression in muscularity and in conditioning, and I think that is a good thing. I think as long as it's staying within the confines of still looking like where the level of muscularity is enhancing the look within that criteria. So I think with bodybuilding, the criteria for muscularity and all these things are fucking maxed out, so it doesn't matter. I think with the other things, there is confines. If Mike starts getting so big, which he couldn't because there's a weight cap that is his aesthetics start to suffer, then yeah, I would agree. He's not a classic guy anymore. He's a bodybuilder. And same with Ryan. Like if I look at myself at 215 pounds when I started competing, I look like a classic guy. When I was 265, I didn't look anything like a classic guy. And I think that's the case with Mike. And people say Mike could be a bodybuilder. Mike's 192 pounds. Like, you know what I mean? You put this guy next to Martin, he'd look like a fucking shrimp.
That's not how people mean it though, Ian. When people say he looks like a bodybuilder, they're talking about shape.
Yeah,
I know what you're
disagree.
I know what you're going to say. I already know you disagree. I already know you've already made
The point I'm just saying
Yeah.
is that his muscularity is enhancing his aesthetics.
And
It's
I
giving
agree
him more
with
of
that.
an X frame. It's giving him more shape. If it starts to detract from the shape, then I agree. Then
I'm
he
gonna
should move.
ask you the original question I was gonna ask before we keep going down this road because I don't want to beat this dead horse.
Mm-hmm.
The original question I was gonna ask is in your breakdown or your articulation of why classic is classic.
Mm-hmm.
In that whole speech, you basically said, or it was in the comment section or something, you said that it's bodybuilding. It's at the end of the day, it's bodybuilding. It's going to be judged like bodybuilding with an emphasis on aesthetics.
Correct.
Right.
With a weight cap.
Okay.
So having a weight
but-
cap is a very important caveat here.
Of course it is. I got to ask you something though. For like 3 years now, you've been saying, let's get rid of 212. Why do we have 212?
Well, because 212 and bodybuilding are the exact same thing. There's no different focus on aesthetics. It's just bodybuilding with short guys. That's all it is.
So you're saying we got to keep classic because classic is more based on aesthetics.
All it would be the same as me is putting in the same as like if you put in a classic division where all the weight caps were 10 pounds lower, like, or 20 pounds lower. It's like, why? You know? And that's what I see as 212 being. It's like the criteria and how the distribution is and the look is the exact same, and the same kind of physiques will succeed where they won't always between classic. Like, look, I agree. I think the top classic guys could all be, every single one of them could be a great bodybuilder. If they put on more muscle and got bigger so they were the same size as the open guys, Chris, fucking Mike.
So wouldn't it make more sense to just call it small bodybuilding?
Well, what does the name matter?
That kind of matters. That's the whole debate. That's the whole reason we're having the debate.
Classic physique, men's physique. I mean, what is open body? They're all just titles, you know?
I know, but-
Bodybuilding-ish.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding-ish.
Kind of bodybuilding.
Less extreme bodybuilding.
No, I mean, it's
We'll call it closed bodybuilding. We have open bodybuilding and closed bodybuilding.
how I interpret it is that maybe to some degree in the beginning of bodybuilding, these guys had a more emphasis on aesthetics because they just weren't as big as the guys now. Not because they weren't trying to be as big, they just weren't. So I think that the aesthetic nature of a lot of the guys was different because they were just smaller. All of us, when we were small, you know yourself, you look at your early in your career, you were way more aesthetic. Yeah. So was I. So was every single one of us. We were more aesthetic, and that's the same with these guys early in bodybuilding.
But hold on. This is what I'm getting at. Is you said there are a number of guys in the classic division that could be open bodybuilders if they
all of them could
if they kept growing, right?
Yeah,
of course. We all agree with that.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, they've just created the same thing as 212. They created another bodybuilding class, but for smaller bodybuilders.
No. Because it's not a two-way street. Because classic, because it has strong aesthetics, and then if you grew the muscularity to be the size of an open bodybuilder, you would be a good open bodybuilder. If you're an open bodybuilder and you have bad aesthetics but extreme muscularity, like someone like Nick, you can succeed. You can't succeed in that same regard in classic. So it's not a two-way street. Good classic guys can all be good bodybuilders, in my opinion, or 95%. But good bodybuilders can't be good classic physique guys.
Okay, I'll agree with you.
You know, even some of these guys that have become incredibly successful open bodybuilders.
But Nick is the extreme example. If you took the top 6,
but that's because they've really pushed.
But hold on a minute. Let me finish
the emphasis on shape in bodybuilding lately.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So that actually further proves my point. If you took the top 10 at the Olympia, almost all of those guys, if without the exception of 1 or 2, would be great classic guys if they lost 30 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, but that's proving my point in that the classic guys could succeed in the open because
I'm saying the reverse. But I'm saying the reverse. So I'm saying the two classes are the same.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Well, they're the same, but it's not a two-way street. You can be successful in open by being so muscular that you overcome your lack of aesthetics. You can't be so muscular in classic that you overcome your lack of aesthetics. You need to be more aesthetic to overcome that. You know?
But you can be so aesthetic that you overcome your lack of muscularity.
In bodybuilding and in classic, absolutely. But that's why I'm saying it's a one-way street generally from classic upwards, not from bodybuilding downwards.
Okay, but hold on a minute. If we just said the top 10 at the O, right? As they were coming up to being open guys.
Yeah, a lot of them could be. Sure.
They all could have been classic guys. You said that about me.
When I started competing,
you said that about me. You said that about you. Yeah, right. So what?
Well, I'm not saying that you could have been a classic guy, but I'm saying your physique was more aesthetic at the beginning.
Yeah.
Do I think for example, do I think you would have been a good classic guy at the beginning of your career? No.
Right.
You know
what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying.
But you were more aesthetic when you were smaller.
What I'm saying to you is all of those open guys were more aesthetic when they were smaller. So
100%.
so the two classes are really,
That's why you have a weight cap, though.
I know that, but I'm saying is the two classes are the same. They're just saying this is smaller bodybuilding.
Okay, so what are you saying that should be different?
I guess my point is like you've been shitting on 212 bodybuilding for the last 3 years because it's the same. But now we're saying classic is the same, just smaller. And you're like, why is that? Why are they allowed to, why are they allowed to have a handicap and the 212 guys aren't?
No, because in my eyes, I see classic as order of importance. I would say aesthetics, conditioning, muscularity. In bodybuilding, I would say it's, a little bit different order. Muscularity, then conditioning, then aesthetics. It's a little bit different because you can still succeed without great aesthetics, but you can't succeed in open bodybuilding without good muscularity at the Olympia level. It's impossible.
Right.
Where in classic physique, like someone like Logan, he's not wildly muscular, but he's got great aesthetics. He's got excellent conditioning, so he can succeed. So the arrangement is different. I think in bodybuilding as a whole, it has to be, those are the only criteria you have is muscularity, aesthetics, and conditioning, even in men's physique. But obviously in men's physique, then it's, aesthetics, conditioning, then muscularity far down, with aesthetics being heavily more dominant there, right?
Can I tell
But
you?
a different type of aesthetics, an arm down, ab dominant, back dominant, shoulder.
That makes sense. So that makes sense. So that the arrangement of the pillars of judging are different.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have a high level of all of them, which a lot of classic guys do, as well as a lot of bodybuilders, you can succeed in any domain in the physique world that you want,
Right.
So like if you're someone like Samson, well, you have fucking 10 out of 10 muscularity, you have 9 out of 10 aesthetics, and you have good conditioning. So like, yeah, he's going to be Mr. Olympia, and then you have Mike, he's got 10 out of 10 aesthetics, 10 out of 10, but like 8 out of 10 muscularity.
I think the debate people are having, and this is I think the debate I was trying to have with you. I think you were debating with me about what classic is, and I wasn't really having that debate. The debate I was having is I think some people, and I'm not saying this is the right way to go. I think some people want it to be more subjective. And what you and the IFBB what the IFBB is saying and what you're agreeing with, which is probably the right way to do it, is no, there has to be a more objective criteria.
Yeah, because I agree with what you're saying. And look, I do agree to a point, and I completely understand where people are coming from of like, because if you just say this guy is more classic, what I said to that is, what do you mean? They're like, they look more like the 70s and 80s guys. I'm like, no, which one?
No. That's not where I'm going. Forget the 70s and 80s. When I say subjective, the problem with being subjective is it becomes more of a pageant. I mean, it's a pageant anyway.
Whose look do you think is the most classic? It's completely subjective.
It's very, very subjective and very much like a beauty pageant.
Yeah,
like,
where Mike's or these guys you can put into tangibles.
Right. And I think that's what makes it more of a sport. But I think that's the debate the public is having.
No, I agree. And I completely understand with where people are coming from in that debate. It's just not a way that you can judge a class like that. It's way too subjective, and you're going to have you'll have some judge that has a guy in first, and another judge will have that same guy in 10th because he's like, well, I don't like.
But isn't that the point of having 7 fucking judges?
To a point, because that eliminates biases and it does some things. But I still think you need a strong level of criteria. And I think with classic, when you're going to say aesthetics is the dominant factor here, well, what do you chalk up aesthetics to be? And to me, that's X frame, that's balance, that's symmetry. And when you look at Mike, he has all those in fucking spades and a half.
Listen, there is no doubt if we're judging classic as objectively as possible. I mean, I was sitting in the same row you were when we were watching the Arnold. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that under those criteria, Mike is the winner of that show without a fucking doubt. Like he easily.
So then let's say under the subjective criteria of what is classic.
Well, this is don't make a game motion.
like if we're saying like, okay, under the subjective, not the objective way, who is Logan the winner now there to you?
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay, now why? Why? Why though?
Well, this is the thing. That's the intangible, right? Yeah. And that's why it's subjective.
Yeah. But because I still say Mike.
Right. But I will say an equal amount of people said Logan. So other people can see what I'm seeing.
I see what you're seeing.
And I'll tell you, me and Stefan had this conversation on Bodybuilding Bollocks. And he kind of quantified it for me. I guess I like a long, leaner look.
Sure. I get the hype.
I personally think the denser the muscle, and the thicker the muscle, the more it lends itself to bodybuilding. So when I see somebody like Mike, I'm like, yeah, he's under the current IFBB criteria, he's for sure the winner. But if I'm just like an observer stepping back and looking, the more statuesque, athletic, beautiful physique is Logan's. And I think that's why Chris did so well for so long, because he had a longer, leaner look, even though he still fit all of the other criteria.
Yes.
So he had kind of both, right?
But you see that in open bodybuilding as well. When you have a guy like Samson,
Yeah.
you know, that's tall,
Right.
have that space, and that can create more shape because you have more space. And he
But-
doesn't even need the conditioning close to Derek because he has so many other facets to his physique that are great.
But it's not the same, because when Hottie
It's not entirely the
when
same.
Hottie wins or Derek wins, I can make a case for it.
Yeah. But you can
And-
make a case for Mike as
And
well.
I can make a case for Mike under the objective criteria.
Yes.
But if you were asking like what people see when they look at it subjectively, and a number of people, including Seth, who couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately, but including Seth, was like, Logan just looks classic. Like
Yeah.
just, and I think
Sure.
to me, I think Stefan put it best for me. It's like that longer, leaner look is more classic to me than the denser, compact muscle. Even if I look at Terrence, and listen, this isn't, even if I look at Terrence, like this is extremely classic.
Yeah, but he's 5'5".
I know. So it's not necessarily a height thing. I think it's the density of the muscle and the shape
Yeah.
of the muscle that does it for me.
Yeah, I mean, and it, really, it's if you actually look in classic historically, shorter guys have actually been, other than Chris, more dominant in the division. The first two Olympia champions with Breon and Danny were short. From an Arnold Classic perspective, it's been almost entirely short guys, other than Wesley.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, the short physiques can do well as well. But I do understand where you're coming from. I see the appeal with taller physiques in a completely all encompassing way. When it's open, whether it's men's physique, you know, with Aaron Banks, like guys that are taller, I see it in every single physique. You know, figure, like whatever it is, there is an appeal to the aesthetics of a longer, more flowing physique. But I don't
It's
think
not,
that.
but
yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. It's not just the height though. It's the muscle itself, like longer muscle bellies, not necessarily as compact. Like,
And I guess my question to you is then, why is that more classic?
you know what?
You know?
It's just a look
Yeah.
I like. It's just a look
Yeah.
I like.
Because, like, in my opinion, if we're gonna talk about classic, and I know you don't want to say the 70s and 80s again, but you put Mike in the 1978 Olympia, he's gonna fucking kill these guys. You know?
Well, that goes without saying, but that's
Of course,
that's
yeah.
just the evolution of
Yeah.
sports in general.
Yeah.
Mike, you're not. I haven't really come to you on this. Do you think?
I've been waiting.
I know you're itching. Do you think? Is there any room for subjectivity in?
I'll be right back. One second.
Is there any room for subjectivity in the argument, or should it just be objective so that there are definite criteria we can pick from?
Well, I mean, there's going to be a criteria that you pick from, but it's like you said, it's going to always come down to people's interpretation of what that is, regardless if you lay it out in plain English for them or not. Like I think Logan looked better than the dude who won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why? Why?
And I've spoken to Logan about that and told him, like, I think that's I literally told him, like, that's the best I've ever seen someone look on stage, like condition wise and everything.
If someone asked you why, what would you say? Why is he better? Why did he win?
I mean, my view of classic is more, it sounds odd to say this because everything's aesthetic, but it's more of like an aesthetically pleasing physique to me. It's like you're talking about long flowing lines. You're talking about like taper that's more dramatic than, let's say, a bodybuilding taper, which would be enhanced by like the size of the lats or like the build of the shoulders, like a natural flowing taper. Like I almost equate it to like, when you see a football player, like let's say like a jacked running back.
Yeah.
Like just like he's
ball of
in
muscle.
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like in shape and he's durable. He's like got round muscle bellies. He's like fucking built for fucking, like he's still like looks crazy half the time. But then you see a guy like DJ Metcalf, who's like a fucking wide receiver, like jacked out of his mind, tall, slender. Like he's he's bigger than the fucking running back.
Right.
But his frame makes him look more like elongated and creates this illusion of like this almost stretched
Pretty.
X.
It's like prettier.
Yeah, it's like there's these condensed X frames and then there's these elongated vertical X frames that are like more like almost appealing to the eye. If you're thinking about, like, I think of classic as being, but it's not. Like I think of it being as more of an athletic build than I think of bodybuilding, whereas bodybuilding is like a very brute, like
Yeah.
I'm a linebacker. I'm a D end who's fucking jacked,
Right.
or I'm a running back, and
Right.
like Samson would be a D end who's
Right.
jacked out of his mind and has a waist this big,
Right.
but
Right.
he would
Right.
look ridiculous playing wide receiver.
Right. Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But he
Right.
has the same kind of structure as the wide receiver guy. That guy just got longer muscles belly, longer legs, like more flowing lines, like the
Yeah.
wingspan is longer, whatever it is, right? So I mean, when you see all that stuff becomes in proportion depending on the person. That's why it doesn't matter the size of the guy. It's just that kind of long, elongated frame with the flowing muscle. So,
but how do you?
That's why Terrence can win, because yeah, he's a small guy, but you can see when you look at that visually, you're like, oh, I know that's a lot different than Hottie. But I can see Hottie, why he's Hottie, and why that's Mr. Olympia is about muscle at the end of the day, and this is more about looking a certain way and having that muscle presented in a nice way. I think. I mean, that's just how I separate them in my mind, because I don't want to get into this debate of, obviously Chris can do the crossover, and there's probably a handful of guys who can cross over into the open, but like, would they do well outside of Chris? I don't know. Like,
in their current state, no.
Paul, what do you think? I know we know what the IFBB is doing and what they've decided, and obviously they're making the right decision based on that criteria, but just speaking as far as the public and what they think, is there room for more subjectivity, or is that just a stupid way to judge?
No, I think there is. I think if you were like going to put like the criteria on a pie chart,
yeah,
there would be a slightly more larger slice for
Yeah.
aesthetics over muscularity and conditioning. Whereas for bodybuilding, I don't think that wouldn't be the same.
Right, but as Ian's saying, somebody like Sommerfeld's muscularity is actually accentuating his aesthetics because it's creating more taper.
And the guy is a master presenter.
yeah, I think the way they could differentiate between the guys is having their presentation count for more, because
That's
they
what I
put
was
so
gonna
much
say.
they put so much effort
Yeah,
into
but
it. And
Mike would still win.
I'd be all for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I think he would still win.
I'm just not saying, but like,
Well, even if
Logan actually won best poser.
because these guys are such fantastic posers, and these guys do understand the art of posing, because they have that mentality of being like this old school approach to bodybuilding, not just like standing up there and bang hitting shots and everyone being like, holy fuck, like
Yeah.
these guys like Logan's twisting into shots and like transitioning. Like, there's, if anything, you should add the criteria of like, let's reward these guys for the work they put in for it,
Right.
and let's see who, if one guy is like nails his fucking posing and is like flawless, and it's close between these two guys, this guy takes it.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. Yeah.
I think whether you have someone like Mike who'd be on the extreme side of muscularity for classic, the way Mike presents his physique though, it sort of almost cancels out that
I know
being too muscular equation.
It's funny
because if Mike hit bodybuilding shots, he may not necessarily win that show.
100%. I agree.
It's funny because I've seen him hit bodybuilding shots and I'm like, fuck, right? But then you see him hit a classic shot and you're like, he almost all of a sudden doesn't look as dense or thick,
Right.
because the way he presents it actually looks like it flows better.
Yeah, his front lat spread.
Yeah.
Like, it could be a crazy shot for him in a bodybuilding
kind of
style if he
sideways with the leg.
He does a twist,
yeah.
and it complements his physique so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
All
even Chris, man, if you look at how Chris posed when he first came into Classic, when the division was new, where he was being just a bodybuilder his whole life, and he was hitting the shot straight on, he lost the first show he did. He came third out of like 4 guys. You know, he lost to Terrence and fucking what's the old guy that won all the $10,000 shows, like the Mr. 10,000?
Darren Charles.
Oh,
Darren Charles,
yeah.
He lost to those 2 guys at his first show because he was just posing like a bodybuilder. They're like, this is a fucking bodybuilder. But
Right.
He learned how to present his physique and putting more, emphasis on the aesthetics over the showcasing the muscularity and the posing. It made a big difference.
Yeah, it's more about the artistic side.
I don't disagree though. Like with the height, I think it's just, you can't make a class where it's like height is everything. It's like, but do I agree if Mike was 5'11", he'd probably, at the exact same proportions, he would look better. Yeah, sure. You know what I mean?
I think when you guys were talking about 212 earlier, I think it would be better to have a tall and short class instead, because I mean, like Sean Clarita has one of the most balanced, best physiques in the world, but because of his height, he's at a massive disadvantage against taller guys.
Yeah, but they kind of do already. I mean, that's really what 212 is. Is there any tall guys in 212?
Well, and I mean, Keon may not fit into that category then if you go by height.
Keon's pretty short.
Keon doesn't want Keon. He's not tall. Keon's short, and Keon doesn't look like he wants to. Speaking of Keon, actually, before I show you let's stay on classic for 1 second.
But Keon, in my mind, could also be relatively successful in the open, just like Derek was.
Yeah,
Derek was, and just like Hottie was.
Before we go to open, I want to. Well, we're still on classic. I just want to show this kid because This Jack Eagles kid or Jack Eagles is doing Detroit next week. It's his pro debut, and fucking he's competing against Wesley and Matt Grego, and I don't know how big he is. He's 211 here. I don't know what his cap is. But like this is really, really fucking impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Matt Grego like presents as a really big guy. Like, is this big enough to compete with those guys?
See, and this is getting back in the this is a prime example of where I think he needs more muscularity to enhance his aesthetics.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
He needs more on his quads that give him a little more X frame. It's like, we shouldn't be demonizing muscularity in classic. I think it's still a very important attribute.
Oh, hold on a minute. I don't think we're demonizing. I just want to make clear. I'm
not saying you are.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I don't think a lot of muscle is a bad thing. Like Chris was a big guy for a classic guy.
Sure.
Not just
one of the reasons he won is he was just more muscular than everybody.
But the muscle looked different.
Yes.
Like it was a longer, leaner muscle, like a longer.
That's why he's a 6-time Olympic champion.
I can't.
Muscle bellies.
He had all the things plus then that thing, and I think that Mike. Look, I conceded. Do I think Mike would be even better if he was taller? Sure. I mean,
but I wouldn't say with the same density. Like, there's a reason. Like Logan's not as complete as Mike. He doesn't have the same hamstrings. Back's not the same size. Shoulder width is not even close. Like, there's a lot of discrepancies. But subjectively, not objectively, a lot of people picked him as the classic winner that day.
Sure, yeah.
Right. So it's not necessarily about muscle, and that's the intangible that makes it more subjective.
Mm-hmm. I think, in my opinion, Fouad, I think you touched on it there. Like, I think had it been a little bit closer from the back, it might be a different story. But but I think he gave up too much from the back to give Mike a challenge.
Mike just has so much more muscle almost everywhere. Like his quads are bigger, back is bigger, hamstrings are bigger.
But I think Logan could hang with him size-wise from the front, and side maybe not as much. But from the back, I think is where he gave up too much.
I think the other thing, like talking about the objective criteria of the IFBB, again, like what Ian said, Mike's V taper was so crazy because Logan's shoulder width is not as wide.
Yeah,
no, he doesn't have as much muscle in his lats and his shoulders and his arms. I think if he got a bit more on there and enhanced that X frame with already the really great flow and aesthetics that he does have, he will be better.
So, and that's what you're saying with Jack here. You think as he gets bigger and grows into this physique, it can be.
If he keeps growing to the point where it's enhancing his aesthetics, not to the point where his waist starts to grow or his aesthetics start to get hindered, then I think it will be better and better and better.
So how does this do next week against Wesley and Matt? Does he compete? Does he beat either one of them?
I don't think he'll beat either of them, but I think he can compete with them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is a really, really nice shape, man.
Like Grego, I think is definitely the front runner for that show. But Grego's another guy that's like fucking muscular as a motherfucker,
But again, then I wonder again, right? I look at this and I'm like, is this more classic than Wesley, regardless of Wesley's bigger, or more classic than Matt, regardless of Matt's bigger?
In some semblances, yes.
This is what I'm saying, right?
I think it is a physique that has the potential to be more classic because it has the potential. Like the waist is tiny, the lats are really bulging. I think a little more on the quads, a little more muscularity there. Yeah. He will have a very outrageous X frame. Yeah. I think he's just a little slight as of now. But I think his ceiling is higher or as high as those guys? Absolutely.
It's going to be a good classic show next week. I think Jay is doing it as well.
Jay Cutler?
Jay Cutler's doing the show.
It's his classic debut.
This is Jay Yunt.
Oh yeah.
Also fucking good shape. So excited to see how he does. There's a bunch of people doing classic that all look really good. I don't know. Detroit's going to be good.
Yes, sir.
And then we have what do we have after that? We have FIBO and a couple other things. Oh, the Arnold Brazil, I think, is after that.
I haven't heard a single thing about that show.
No, I don't know anybody who's doing the Arnold Brazil.
Not one.
I mean, FIBO. Might be an easy place for somebody to go pick up an Olympia qualification.
Yeah. And Rafael's out, so I imagine the Brazilian guys are doing it. But
Rafa's out. Yeah.
But I haven't heard like horses doing it or anything, and I don't know who else is there. Oh, did you guys see that fucking Juan kid? Holy!
We were looking at him last week.
No, man, he posted a photo today. I'm like, how is this kid growing every fucking week? Like, what is happening? I don't know if it's just I'm being tricked by Instagram because that happens to me nowadays. But sorry, I spelled his name wrong. One sec.
Joan.
Joan, yeah. There it is. Did he post this today? Yeah, this fucking video he posted today is wild. I'm expecting big things out of this kid this year. Look at this look at this.
Ooh, those quads.
This is like a Jay Cutlery kind of physique to me.
It is totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kid's gonna shock people this year, man. I'm telling you, man. Holy fuck.
See, open bodybuilding, not classic.
Yes.
What do you say? What are you saying? Anyway,
crazy.
I saw this today. I was like, holy fuck, man. I got to show the guys this fucking shit. This is crazy. Well, one thing you can say about Milos is he knows how to put muscle on guys.
Is that who this guy works with?
Yeah, he's working with Milos. All right, you know what? Let's change things up a bit. Let's do questions a little bit earlier.
Melissa says hi, by the way. She just called. She's in Mexico this week, so
Oh yeah.
You're by yourself?
fuck yeah, bud. Me and the dogs.
When you're by yourself, do you jerk
All
off
alone.
more?
Yeah.
For sure.
But like a lot more or like the same amount, just like your wife's gone. So you just like if your wife was home, you'd bust a nut once a day with her. So when she's gone, do you bust a nut once a day without her, or do you like take more leisurely time for yourself?
Depends. Like if I don't got much going on that day and I'm like sitting around, I'm kind of bored, I might crank out like 2 or 3. Yeah.
Beat yourself silly.
I'm like, meh, got nothing else going on.
Yeah. Dehydrated by the end of the day.
I can tell that the natty test levels are coming up though lately. I can feel it in the gym, like my strength and like my fucking like aggressiveness behind the weights is like a lot better. You know, when you like sauce up and you just feel you can fucking like push through things.
Yeah.
I feel that lately for sure.
Yeah, I can tell by your sound effects in your videos. Enjoy those.
Yeah. I just
What about cooking?
I just in a cup on Monday.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
And how's that? You don't know how that went yet. You don't know how
Not
to test the
At
results
the office, or you have to drive it in?
No,
I drove
home.
this one in.
He was
Yeah.
at home. He just in a cup at home just for fun.
Yeah. You have like 10 minutes or like 20 minutes. You got to get it there or something.
You got to get there within an hour.
Oh.
Yeah. I got there in like
If I could go through red lights.
35 minutes.
Did you do it at home and then take it there?
Yeah. That's the first time I've done that. I've always done it there.
Yeah, I do
You
it.
should bring multiple samples just in case they want to back up.
This is from Tuesday, Wednesday,
Pile of
Thursday.
them. Like those ketchup things at Five Guys, just fill like 5 of them.
Let me ask you this question: when you do it there, is it turn you on more because you're in public?
I've asked him this question myself.
Like not really. It's kind of a weird thing because
Like there's people right outside the door and you're just like hammering away at yourself.
The window where like because they have like a little like window.
There's a window. There's a window.
It's a window. It's like where you like get like a fucking delivery from, like at Tim Hortons. It's like a sliding glass window and they're right there. I'm talking. It's a narrow hallway and there's 2 rooms on this side of the hallway and there are windows on this side. So like I could spit from where I'm jerking off into their window. It's like 4 feet. And you're in this room and then you're like, I kind of got to be quiet. And then if there's someone in the room next to you, you're like, do I finish faster than this guy so I get out there before him, or do I want to be like cool where it's like I don't bust as quick as this guy? I'm like, take like
is that how your mind works?
Wait till he finishes, and then like I'll wait like 3 minutes and be like, 30 seconds done.
I don't know if I could do that, knowing that you both arrived at the same time. You're like, okay, see ya. This guy goes into his jerk off room, you go into yours. I don't know.
Especially if you hear like a little rummaging in the room, you're like, fuck, what's this guy doing?
I would
privacy at all.
It would end up being a competition for me.
To get fast.
I would want to finish first. I'd be like, I won.
So you go to the window, they literally give you the cup, you go in, close the door, and come right back out.
I'd literally be so loud that everyone would be uncomfortable.
I'd be so embarrassed. I don't know.
You
if I
scream when you come. You scream like when you're fucking.
Look, the thought is embarrassing, but then you also have to remember these people literally have guys jerking off in these rooms all day, every day. Like at all times, like they're booked. Like even when I booked this, I had to do a home one because the next time they had for available to do in clinic was like in fucking June, So like they got 2 guys jerking off in that room 8 hours a day till June,
Oh,
I wonder what that's like. I wonder what that's like if you work like you're a chick and you work there. Like they're
all chicks. Every single one in that room.
I know, but like,
what guy's gonna take that job?
All women.
No, but I'm just saying. Like, I wonder if it's. When you're
the fertility clinic, everyone that works there is women.
When you work at a strip club and eventually you see so many strippers come out that you start looking at their outfits and their shoes and shit because you don't care anymore about their.
It's like being a waxer,
Yeah, like you've seen so many tits, you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it's the same for them. They're like, they hear so many guys jerk off. They're like, that guy's just blew his load, whatever.
Yeah. Or I always wonder like how much they assess your jizz in the cup. They're looking at like, look at
this loser.
This
He's got
fucking
like 4 drops in here.
pitiful fucking spit little,
His little thumb dick.
you know?
He got
Or
like
like, look
4
at this guy.
drops
This
out.
guy filled half the goddamn cup.
The
What a
girl,
fucking,
the girl calls her boyfriend. This guy's
Yeah.
fucking cup is one
Taking
drop in it.
pictures with her cell phone,
drop.
sending to her boyfriend.
or
Look at
like,
this loser.
comment on the color, the texture. Be like, yo, look at this guy's fucking yellow ass splooge. Like, he's got some chlamydia, you know? Like,
This guy's got no sperm. It's all water.
Yeah,
you can tell. Actually, I've noticed that's been one of the biggest changes in like the texture and color
I
of
want
my
to know
jizz.
about your fucking jizz, dude.
Is when my sperm count was 0, it was like almost clear, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, and now it's like thick, gluey white, you know?
It sticks
Elmer's
to,
glue.
It sticks to the wall.
It sticks
Yeah.
to stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you're jizzing on your belly, it's like you can stand
Yeah.
up and it stays in the exact same spot, you know? Or like when you
gel-
bust in your
gel.
wife and she stands up and it just all falls out versus like it
Yeah,
just stays
it
in there.
stays
you
in
know?
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine the people got to clean these rooms. Like,
But
going with, like,
I learned a
hazmat
lot of
outfits
that
on.
with like the white stuff. Like that's a lot of that's like prosthetic, like prostate fluid that comes. That's what makes it the thicker white that comes with it as well. Obviously, more sperm count will make it thicker, but the color, because like when I did a home sample, at first it's like jizz looks like,
Yeah.
but then by the time you get to the clinic, it does look like just water. Like that stuff
Oh,
is
really?
in it breaks down over time. Yeah,
Well, have you ever
prostate liquid?
jerked off and then fell asleep before cleaning it?
yeah. And then you get back, it's water.
Yeah,
it's gone.
clear.
Yeah, yeah. Within 5 minutes, not even 2 minnets, it's like it completely looks normal or like water. Yeah.
I love that Ian was like, "Yeah, I've done that." He's like, "Oh yeah, all the time. I just jerk
Yeah,
off,
well,
fall asleep."
Melissa's out of town. You know what I mean? Like, no rush to clean up now. You know.
Oh no. All right. With advancements in PEDs and overall knowledge, do you think it's possible to have another jump in size as far as an open class competitor, as far as open class competitors like the golden era, then the 90s hit and everyone was much larger? I don't know. I guess he's saying like, do we see another like big jump like
Size era.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's only when you get like quality drugs like that are like myostatin inhibition, stuff like that. Once we get those out there, you'll have guys that are fucking just absolute beluga whales. But I don't think that the drugs are there quite yet for that kind of stuff. Or if they are, it's like you're going to get cancer within like 14 days of taking it, you know?
Ivan Bodybuilding says, obviously not anyone can get big enough for the open, but can any person get so big that they reach their weight cap in classic physique?
Yes.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? I don't understand the question.
I think everyone, if you take PEDs and eat enough food to put yourself in a caloric surplus, they might look like shit, but I think everyone can get big.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand the question. Yeah, I mean, everybody can reach their weight cap eventually. Have you used or do you use any SSRIs, and how was your transition of going onto them, and did you have to alternate them to find one that suited you? I used Cipralex for about 3 years.
So did I.
I tried a different one a long time ago. It was Zymbalta or some shit.
Mhm.
I didn't like the way that felt, but I also wasn't mentally ready to take anything. I tried Cipralex. It worked well for me. Did everything I wanted it to, kind of like reset my mind in a way. And then I got off it when I didn't need it anymore. I went through like a little bit of a period where I needed something, and then now I don't, so I don't use it anymore.
Exact same story for me.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with, listen, a lot of people demonize people for having to use things like that. And I was one of those people. It actually took Ian telling me that, it's not a big deal. And I was like, you know what? It's not a big deal. And then I used one, and I was like, I don't know why I fought this fucking anxiety for so long when I could have been using something a long time ago to help myself. So,
How long did it take you to bust a nut taking that shit though?
I fucked with my libido. I think that's why I stopped taking it. I'm like, I'd rather be depressed.
I almost kind of liked it. I could just like fucking jackhammer for like 20, 30 minutes straight, like no
Might have led
pause.
to
No,
at
that's
least erections, I thought.
it didn't
No.
it didn't fuck with me busting a nut. It fucked with me fucking. Like there would be times where I wasn't doing the
Oh,
job I wanted to do.
I just made it like
You couldn't perform?
impossible to nut, you know?
No, I wish that'd be great.
Yeah, some guys have that where it's like they get it so they literally can't ever jizz. You know?
That's how I was.
That sucks, but like I didn't have that issue. I had it where it's like it would extend you like just to the point of where like this is perfect. I get everything I want out of it. You know?
I went through phases of that when I was on a lot of gas.
So did I. Yeah.
I could just bang and bang and bang and like nothing. I was like, I felt like a porn star. I was like, this is great.
Love that. Yeah.
Blue balls constantly though.
Yeah. No, I'm off the drugs. I just stick it in and fucking finish,
it's like 40, 45 seconds.
Sorry, babe. You want the vibrator?
Whose physique? Oh, come on. Whose physique would you rather have in their primes? Arnold, Haney, Sebum.
Oh, I don't know. A prime Arnold, if I'm going to walk around with it all day, prime Arnold with that chest and arms is pretty fucking dope to have. If I'm competing, obviously you're taking Chris. Chris is the best bodybuilder there, or classic physique, or whatever the fuck.
I think I'd rather have Lee Haney's physique than anybody.
Oh, there was Lee Haney?
Yeah, Lee Haney.
Big chest, big back.
Yeah, Lee Haney's
small
physique
waist
for sure. And he had big arms.
And he's black too, Paul. You might actually get some athletic prowess with that.
I would probably be able to dunk, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that you think all black people can automatically dunk.
If they're over 5'8", if they're over 5'8", they can dunk. Yeah.
It's literally the most racist thing that you've ever said.
I did it in a good way.
How many times are you willing to wear a pair of socks before easing them? I think he means before like putting them in the laundry. I don't know. I don't know what easing them means.
Sounds like a British term.
Yeah.
Well, if he's talking about wearing them, I only wear socks once. Even if it's only for half an hour, I won't put them back on.
Me too.
Yeah, me neither. But that's not the question. How long could you wear? Because socks aren't like underwear or like a t-shirt.
It says how long are you willing?
Yeah, see, they're more like
3 days in a row.
Yeah, they're like jeans. They're more like jeans, where unless you don't like wear them somewhere where they get dirty or like sweat like too crazy, you can kind of wear them for a long time.
No,
socks. I think don't really sweat.
It's not about
socks,
sweat.
man.
It's just socks get gross.
Why?
No.
Foot odor.
I'm going to send you some Under Armour
my
socks.
feet don't stink.
Like them.
My feet stink.
My feet don't stink either, but it just feels wrong. Like socks are.
Look, I don't do it. I put on one pair of socks in the morning. I wear it till I shower that day.
Yeah.
And once I shower and take them off, they go in the laundry basket.
Right.
So I never put them back on after they've come off once.
Right.
So how many pairs a day?
But I wouldn't compare them to denim.
One.
Like denim is different. Like a pair of jeans, I'll go like 3 or 4 days without washing a pair of jeans. Three or four wears.
I have pairs of jeans that I've had for 7 years and never washed before.
Really?
But I also, wait, I only ever wear the jeans like maybe 4 times a year. So they've been worn like, 15 times and never been washed,
You guys call me gross for wearing the same workout pants that are mesh twice in a row.
Gross, though.
That's working out.
Mesh.
That's working
You're working
out.
out in them.
I didn't do legs in them and they're mesh.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
You got swamp ass, man.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that. I don't
Yes,
do
you do.
on like an arm day, maybe a shoulder day.
Not a chance you have done a swamp
Okay,
ass.
hold on a minute. You can lie to them. You can't lie to me. Your pants stink.
They didn't stink, Fouad.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
Paul's nose blind to it.
Yeah, I know.
That's true. I don't have a good sense of smell. So that's
Deviated
possible.
septum and all this fucked up shit. Oh, they smell fine.
Yeah, you're right. Probably right. I should take other people's advice on smells.
Flex Lewis at his best in the open. Where would he have placed?
We saw it once. Didn't he do an open show once?
Well, he beat Derek before, so I mean, if that means anything.
Yeah, but that one show with Hottie was pretty controversial too. I don't think he beat Hottie in that show. So
What I'm saying is, I think I could see him in the top 6.
I think he'd be kind of in that.
Yeah.
I don't think he could beat like an Andrew of today, but I think he would be like around the Hunters and stuff like that. I think
he could beat Andrew.
I don't.
I think if you're thinking of Flex the way we saw him, no. But
actually, maybe because he's pretty fucking wild from the back.
If you added 10 pounds of tissue to that frame.
Sorry, yes, I'm talking just about how he was at his best. That's what.
No.
I said at his best.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, and that.
But no, if he grew into the open, do I think he could place higher? 100%.
That's kind of what I was thinking. If he grew into the open, I see him in the top 5, top 6.
Oh yeah, to see him in the top 3, top 4, even. Yeah, I think he could be as good as a Derek or a Hottie if he could put on another 15 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Best temperature for thermostat in the house?
72. Depends what season.
68.
Too
68.
hot, Paul.
Depends on what season.
No wonder you get that swamp ass.
68 all year round.
I live with. I got 3 women in this house. 3 females.
Why does it matter when it
Women like warmer homes?
They're always cold.
Yeah, they're always cold.
Yeah,
but why does it matter what season it is? 72 is either going to be hot or not.
Yeah, why would you need it different temperature, different season?
I like it cooler in the summer.
Yeah, but you're cooling the house, but you still cool it to the same degree.
Yeah.
No, I prefer it a little cooler in the summer than I do in the winter.
Interesting. So what do you put your house to in the summer?
70.
And in the winter, 72.
So how come
72 to 74.
But how come you don't sweat if it's 74?
I have a window open, usually.
Oh, that's why.
It's
So
in
it's not really
Celsius.
74. Your
It's
temperature.
in Celsius.
So wait, no,
That's
wait.
what I said it at.
So your temperature is set at 74, but you have a window open, so it's not really 74 in the house. Why don't you just
Says
set?
it.
Why don't you just set this temperature at
says it.
68?
Yeah, it says it where the thermostat is, which isn't in your bedroom.
Well, it clicks on often to maintain that.
I know, but
Yeah,
why
but
don't
not
you
in your
just
bedroom.
set? Why
No,
don't
not
you
my
just-
bedroom. No, my bedroom's much colder.
Okay,
Sorry for
hold on.
cut you off.
I know it's not your fault. I was interrupting, but I have to ask. Instead of opening a window, why don't you just set it at 68?
I like the fresh air.
Yeah, you go fresh air when you sleep.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
fair.
I also agree. Like I keep my bedroom window open all year, winter, summer. It's open every day.
Yeah,
All
I normally
day, all
do
the
too.
time.
Like,
like-
your bedroom window or other windows in the house?
Just my bedroom window.
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
open the other windows in the house. But I also like if Melissa's not here in town right now, I have my thermostat off. Like so at night, my house, like I woke up this morning, it was 12 degrees Celsius in here. And then I just leave it like that. And then during the day, because I have like
It'll
floor
warm
to
up.
ceiling windows,
Yeah.
it's like 20 in here during the day. And then I just
wow.
leave it off and overnight it cools down. You know?
I like sleeping in a cooler room too, though. I think I sleep. I think,
Oh, yeah.
I think I read an article about you sleep better in a cooler bed.
way better.
For sure you do.
Yeah. No, I mean I'll put my air conditioning on like within the next week, you know.
Really?
Paul,
If it's
Paul,
15 degrees outside, my AC is going on. Yeah.
Paul's
Flipp
the
makes
be-
fun of me for this.
Paul's the best. He has a thing. It's like he's such a dad sometimes.
Not until May.
No,
That's right.
no, yeah.
That's right.
but it's funny. Once it goes on, it's on.
It doesn't
It
come
can't
off.
go off.
What do you mean?
Stays on
like-
for the season.
That's it. It's on for the season.
Why?
Just like the furnace. The furnace
Because
estate comes on.
it's like he's got to shovel the coal into the fucking air conditioner. I don't know
But like
why.
what if one day it was 30 degrees Celsius and the next day it was 0?
No, he doesn't care.
You wouldn't turn the furnace back on?
It's the season of
Put
the
a,
air.
put a sweater on.
It's the season of the air conditioner.
That's what my dad was. I don't know. It rubbed off on me.
It's crazy. It's weird. I mean, this is such a fucking like hoity-toity thing to say, but like the house I grew up in, I didn't have air conditioning in the house I grew up in.
Yeah.
Really?
But, like I think of that now, I'm like, how the fuck did I survive? We didn't have a furnace or we had a wood stove and no air conditioning. You know?
We had a window unit in our house.
I
growing
didn't
up.
have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in the summer, it was just windows open. In the winter, we'd light the wood stove, and then you know it would go out overnight, and it'd be nice. You'd wake up in the morning, be like you'd see your breath in the morning.
Wow.
You know,
It's funny. I didn't realize this until I started obviously hanging out with a lot of the UK guys, but they don't have fucking. It's not air conditioning's not popular there.
Yeah.
Vancouver, BC doesn't have. My sister, like where my
Yeah.
sister lives in Vancouver, nobody has air conditioning.
Fuck that, man.
Yeah.
I gotta have air. You have to have air conditioning.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, a lot of places don't have it. Europe and BC, a lot of places don't.
Wondering if Paul can include my dad, Brian, in the prayer this week. He hasn't gotten tile foot, so I know it could be worse. But he had a spinal fusion surgery, and some kind words from Paul might just be what he needs.
You got it, Brian. Made note of it.
Brian's the dad.
Brian's dad. Okay, yeah. We'll
Brian.
definitely mention him in my prayers.
Okay, don't forget. Write it down.
I wrote it down.
Okay, you're gonna forget for sure.
I wrote it down. I can't forget.
Favorite Ben and Jerry's flavor. I'm gonna say my go-to is usually half baked.
That thing's good.
What's the one that's fudge brownie? What's it called?
Brownie no. Brownie batter, something like that? No?
Yeah, but it's called a name. I
You know,
like that
Paul, you'll be happy to
Rocky.
hear. And I've always agreed with this. I was watching a thing and they were talking about how vanilla is the most masculine flavor.
I don't know why you guys always doubt me.
I agreed with you.
Listen,
I
How
think
is it masculine?
Oh, yeah,
Why is it masculine?
chocolate
Because
is the most feminine and vanilla is the most
Listen,
masculine.
I don't
Thank you.
care.
And that goes back to what I said.
You know what?
Women on
Fine.
periods.
Even if I give that to you, I don't care. It's still the most boring flavor.
No, it's not. It enhances every other flavor.
You can be the most masculine, but also the most boring.
It's the most complementary and the most enhancing of the flavors.
It's the least gay. That's why Paul
It
likes it.
doesn't enhance the flavors. I will
Enhance
give
anything you put it
It
in.
does
I'll give-
enhance an apple
no.
pie.
No. It's
Yep.
complementary. I'll give you complimentary. It
Both.
doesn't enhance the flavor.
It does.
Like if I make a smooth, like
it enhances a lava cake.
no. Like if I make no, it's complimentary. That's different than enhancing.
I wouldn't eat a lava cake.
Would you?
If
Yeah,
I
that's
just hold on, let me explain the difference. It's complimentary because it's with, right? Enhancing would mean you added it to the recipe and it made it better.
I'll give you an example.
No,
You're giving your own definitions of this. This
Yes,
is
he
not,
is.
no,
I'll give you an
you're just
example.
making this
not.
up.
No,
This
I'm
isn't
not.
make
It's-
up.
I'll give you an example.
You just
where it
made up a
enhances.
definition of that.
No, I'm telling you.
He does this all the time. Then he tries to convince you. Of it.
I'm telling you the truth. So, like, if you make a smoothie, the vanilla does nothing. It's the berries and shit that make it taste good.
Nope, it enhances the flavor of those
It
berries.
does not enhance the flavor of the berries.
I'll give you an
the berries
example.
enhance the flavor of the shitty, bland flavor of the vanilla.
I'll give you an example.
Okay, give me an example.
You could eat chocolate chip cookie dough on its own. It's good.
You're gonna
you
give me a
mix that-
complimentary.
No, I'm going to enhance it by mixing it with vanilla ice cream.
You're not mixing
I
it.
think I agree with Fouad on this one. Yeah.
You're not that's mixing. That's complementary to the cookie dough. It's not mixing.
It
When
makes
you blend,
it way better.
It's kind of the same, but yeah.
if you blend a smoothie, right? The base, like egg whites or something like that, is very bland. That's vanilla, is very bland. You add ingredients to make it delicious. You don't just drink a fucking vanilla shake unless you're retarded.
Yes, you do all the time. Actually, they're the best shakes you can buy.
It's bland as fuck.
Amazing.
By the way, if anybody wants to know how our pre-workout discussions before we train every day go, this is pretty much it.
This is pretty much it. Yeah. Until we get mad at each other, and then we just start training.
What is the gayest thing Paul has ever done?
Gayest thing I've ever done.
Eat vanilla ice cream. That's for sure.
Do you take a bath? Have you taken a bath?
I have, but it's been.
I know what it is.
Oh, what?
Well, Paul regularly has meals with one other man.
I do enjoy breakfast with men.
He probably actually has it more than any of us. So that's
Well,
probably
I will also say that he has admittedly said that Theo is an extremely good-looking man and makes every effort to take photos with him.
Yeah.
So this is also very gay.
that's pretty gay too. Yeah.
Imagine you got to eat breakfast with Theo. That'd be amazing.
We won't be able to communicate though.
So
You don't need to. You just look into each
Yeah,
other's eyes.
we would just stare at each other. I just
Feed him
emulate.
pancakes.
I would just order whatever Theo ordered.
You've never had a girl that's like wanted to sneak a fucking finger up there, you know?
Can't talk
finger,
about
no.
that.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
You should probably leave that out. You're gonna get
Yeah,
yourself in trouble. Don't get him in trouble,
take
man.
that
He's
off,
gonna get
take that
fucking
off.
trouble.
Never even thought about it.
Yeah, take that part off. No, by the way.
Exit only. Exit only.
That's right. No. Oh, yeah, no. Never been penetrated yet.
So what's the gayest thing you ever did? Eat breakfast with a man?
If you guys consider that gay, I don't.
Wait, I would say if you've had a dinner in a dimly lit restaurant with another man, that's more gay than breakfast.
I've never done that.
Me neither.
Can't recall doing that. Dimly lit breakfast spots for sure. But
Dimly lit breakfast.
Where have you been to?
Well, I mean, not that it's like dimly lit to set a mood. It's just because
That's what he's talking about. He doesn't mean the window is closed.
Oh, well, then.
Dimly lit, like when you go to the keg at night, like the lights are dim in there.
Yeah,
it's like they close the
gotcha.
drape. It's dimly lit.
No, intentionally dimly lit for ambiance.
Oh no, not ambiance. No.
Okay. I want to know. Listen, we know what Ian thinks the gayest thing you did is. What is the gayest thing you think you've done is?
I'm trying to recall because I've done nothing remotely gay in my life, so I'm gonna have to really do some.
Have you
digging
ever
here.
had breakfast? Have you ever had breakfast with another man and there's a candle on the table? Because that would be
Not
the
lit.
tipping point.
Not
Or
lit.
any
Lit
meal.
candle.
Or
There
any
may have
meal with
been
a man.
one put there because the restaurant keeps them there, but it
Yeah,
didn't
but
get
is it lit? Is it lit?
No, definitely not lit. No, definitely not
Put
lit.
that
No.
out right away.
Yeah, pull that out. Pull that out now.
Don't give me ideas, big guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had a gay experience with it, so I can't comment on that.
All right.
Well, we have our next guest coming on. Paul. Do you remember?
If you got to pick one classic car, what would it be?
Oh, fuck.
Anybody have a preference?
Take me out. I don't.
I'm taking a
Get
66
Good old
split.
Shelby.
No, 66 Corvette with the split back window. I think that was 66 or 65.
I'd probably
I take one of the OG Shelbys. Yeah.
Yeah, those are sweet. Paul, anything?
It wouldn't be a classic, but I'd probably take like the model of the 2020 Navigator.
2020.
I love
Yeah.
that 2020
Talk about
Gator.
When they
Classic.
came out with that front
He's like-
grill, that big
he's like-
front grill.
Classic, Paul.
He's like, guys, they made this station wagon a little while back. It's fucking-
Did you see the new Kia Sonata?
I love the Navigator.
Did you guys see the video Chris posted the security cam footage of him crashing
Yeah.
his fucking
Is that real?
his Camaro in his gym? Yeah, this happened like a year or two ago.
Oh my! I saw that. I was like, "What the?"
Yeah,
fuck?
it happened a while ago, and someone finally asked him for it, or he was doing a video with that Sarah girl, and she was like, "Put it in the video." And the editor actually put it in. And it's fucking funny.
Yeah, I watched
He's
it.
just like he gets in it, and he's like kind of not paying attention, puts his foot on the clutch, and then like gets back out, and like it fucking obviously
Off the clutch. Yeah.
pop the clutch and jumps into a fucking bench and into his cable. And he's like, "What the fuck?" You know.
Did he put it? He must have put it in his stories. It's not in the feed, right?
It was in a YouTube video.
Yeah, I think I saw it anyway. Yeah, I can't bring it back up right now, but I did see it. Yeah, I was like, "Fuck, man, that's a beautiful car. How much did that cost him? Do you know?" Probably have to redo the front end
I don't, but he doesn't really drive it. It's just
just for show in the gym. Paul, you said you were great at trivia today.
Geography, European,
Yep. Where is Serbia on a map?
Europe.
Yep. Where? In Europe.
It's on. It's East Coast.
What countries
coastal.
border?
Formerly known as Yugoslavia.
Don't tell Paul anything. We got in an argument today about his knowledge of Europe, and he said he knew everything. So
No, I didn't say I knew everything. I said
Listen.
I'm strong on
okay,
geography.
well
in Europe.
let's see exactly how strong you are, because this question says for Paul Lauzon, where is Serbia on the globe? No cheating. So I'm asking you, where
Well, you got to
is-
give him a blank canvas to point at.
Yeah.
No. He said, listen, Mike, we got an argument today at the gym, like a real argument, because he was like, I know everything about European geography. He said, but don't. He said, but he
I said a fair amount.
He prefaced it with, don't ask me about obscure countries, though. It's got to be a metropolitan city. I'm like,
Yeah, well, I could pick
not
a
obscure.
town of. I could pick a
I
town.
wouldn't let
of
any
2,000.
Serbians hear
all
you
right.
say that.
I'm saying Serbia. That's not obscure.
No,
So
not obscure at all.
what countries border Serbia?
It's in the Balkans.
What
region.
countries border Serbia?
Albania.
No,
Croatia.
Close to it.
Don't-
Croatia.
Don't help him. Don't help
and
him.
formerly Yugoslavia.
He said that like
How many
4 times.
places?
There are 6 countries that border fucking Serbia. You can't
Well,
get
the
one.
borders have changed over the years, Fouad. It wasn't always that way.
He says this every time. He
The
literally
tectonic,
says this every
plate,
time.
the tectonic plates have shifted. Over the
No,
years.
but the borders have
Paul,
shifted.
You're saying this is all your knowledge of geography based in like 1981? Like when
Hasn't
you
looked at a
base
map since high
it-
school.
since the fucking Soviet Union in the 90s? Like where?
Yeah, before the fall
Since
of the wall.
Gorbachev was in power.
Yeah.
Yes, it's before the fall of the wall.
All right,
Fouad,
so
I sent you the video too of the car.
to my text.
Your email, to your email, so it's on your computer.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Paul. You can get one of the countries that borders it. Just start
I got
naming
one.
things off.
I got one, Croatia.
I
No,
said that.
Ian gave you that. It doesn't count.
I see a map of Europe.
Can I see it
I
back?
just want to get an idea of again. I got to
But that gives you the answer.
I can't just pick it on top of my head. Just picture it like that.
That's the whole point here, Paul.
Yeah, blank map of Europe. Got to come up.
Yugoslavia.
What's
We
that?
already mentioned that one.
Oh shit, we need the sound.
No, you don't need the sound. There's no sound in the security footage.
Oh, we don't need the sound. Okay.
I don't know if you can fast forward a bit here.
Yeah, here it comes. There it is.
So he's like on his phone, not really paying attention. And this car's just been parked in here forever, you know.
It's such a beautiful car, though.
He gets in.
Oh no, there it goes into the fucking.
And you're like,
That's-
what do I even do? He's just there like, fuck. You got to back it out, but you know you're going to rip the goddamn bumper off when you pull it out.
That's such a fucking shame, man.
Yeah, he got it fixed. This was a while ago. It's been fixed since, long fixed.
Yeah. Okay, so Paul's knowledge of geography is not that good.
Kosovo.
What?
Kosovo? Did you say Kosovo?
It borders Kosovo.
He's looking it up. That's what happened.
No, I'm not. I swear, Fouad, I don't have anything in my hand.
You 100% got an answer from somewhere. A
Got
thousand.
from nowhere.
Paul,
Swear,
do you think,
swear
do you think,
on
do
your
you think
swear,
Kosovo's a
swear on your
country?
kid's life.
I believe. Well,
Swear on your kid's life that nobody told you that.
no, Kosovo's a city, right?
See, he won't.
Yeah.
See, he won't swear on it.
In what country?
Liar.
In Serbia.
You know I know you too well, right?
I'm not cheating on Fouad, honestly.
You cheated.
On what? With what?
Swear on your kid's life, then.
Swear on my kid's life. I didn't cheat.
Swear on your kid's life that you did just guess.
I swear on my kid's life. I just guessed that. I'd read about conflicts all around the world, and there's
All
a
right,
recent
all
one.
right. You got one. You got one
Many
country. I'll give you. I'll
Yeah,
give you.
Kosovo is a country that borders it. That's like what next to Albania and stuff. Yeah.
All right.
All right, nailed that one. What else you got?
No. All right. 1 second. I want to see if you know where it is on the map. Let me just zoom out here a bit. Okay. Okay. Where is it on the map?
All right, zoom in on Europe there.
No, you got it. No, no, I'm not zooming.
Go ahead and zoom in on that area over there.
No,
Right out of
I
there
got to
for
point
you.
it out to you. Then.
no, you got to point. I got the cursor right here. Tell me where to go with the cursor.
Eastern part of Europe.
Okay, this is the eastern part.
No, that's
Okay. This is the
that's the
eastern.
western
This
part.
is the eastern part.
yeah.
Where?
So a little bit more west,
Okay, where?
right around close to Romania.
So here?
Yeah, in that area.
No, you're wrong.
No.
No, where's
No.
it then?
It's not
Where's
there.
it?
I'm not telling you.
Well,
dude.
it's a little bit lower than there. Where you? I didn't
Well, I already
put your
told you no.
cursor.
You're just going to keep guessing. So where?
Just a little bit lower than that.
Okay,
I didn't know you had a cursor there.
Is it here then?
Right there.
Yeah, that's not
Around-
it. Either.
right around there.
You're also wrong. Yeah.
Where is it? I don't fucking know.
In the
Why do you
middle.
give me these little fucking countries?
Well, Serbia's not a little fucking country.
Yes, it is. It's not like a G7 country or anything.
Oh, so if it's not France, then you don't know what the fuck you're talking
He
about.
knows all the G7s. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, and the
Watches
G10s.
the summits, you know?
Jesus Christ, Paul. All right. Oh, this is a long one. Scenario for you when you were at your peak of your career. It's 10 p.m. and you're on prep about to make your last meal of the day, but you realize that you're out of something, say chicken breast. Do you go out to whatever nearest store is open, get some and cook it, or do you swap the meal out for another food? Or is there an amount of weeks out where you just swap it and an amount of weeks where you'd go out and get the chicken? For me,
We'll swap it for what?
I would swap it. Honestly, if it was like late at night and I didn't want to go to the grocery store, I would swap it for something with the closest macros possible.
How many weeks off my show would you?
But I would never be in that situation. Like I always bought stuff in bulk, so I would always have chicken ready. But if I didn't, I would just switch it for like turkey or egg whites or something.
Yeah, or
something
fish,
with the same fish, something with
A lean meat, yeah.
yeah, something with similar macros. But I don't think that's the end of the world. Anybody else?
No, I agree.
I think as long as you're fitting the macros.
I think earlier in my career, I was like, no, it's got to be chicken.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
got to go. And then I realized as I grew into the sport, I was like, it's not going to make a big difference once.
No.
So, okay. I don't want to listen. I'm not answering these what is the gayest questions anymore. It's getting out of hand.
Yeah. Just one more, and then we're done.
If it's a funny one.
Okay,
Unless
last
it's
one.
funny.
Last one. What is the gayest sport?
For men?
Just
Oh,
overall.
I have an answer.
What?
Water polo.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I always
tough.
thought it was a pretty fun sport.
It looks kind of gay to me.
I think fucking, what the fuck is it called?
Cricket's pretty gay.
No, you're going to upset a lot of fucking Indians with that one. Holy fuck. You upset half the world. That's the most popular sport on the planet, bro.
Just joking.
Yeah.
I'm just
What is the new game?
Nobody-
What is that
don't
new game
DM me.
everyone's playing? The fucking paddleball game? What's it called?
pickleball.
Oh, pickleball.
That's pretty
Yeah,
fucking
that's
gay. Too.
gay. That's
What about
super
bobsled? Like 4-man bobsled?
No, that's awesome.
No, it's a team
Well, you gotta,
doing
like-
something fucking important.
Paul's
man.
only saying
Yeah,
because
but then you
got
got
to
to press up against each other like that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but it's fucking holding his
gotta-
waist like with meaning.
Half
you
the
got
guys
your
are like
dick
retired
pinned on the guy's
NFL running. They're like retired NFL running backs and shit. That's
Paul's
I
kind of
remember they
right.
did-
Paul's kind of right though. You're resting your balls on the guy's ass in
Yeah.
front of you.
No, it's fucking.
Or what's
manly.
that? What's the other one? Where they lie down?
Yeah,
one
but you
guy
guys are
lies down
going
the
how
other
many
guy's lap.
miles an hour down the fucking
Yeah.
thing? Like,
It doesn't change the
Dangerous.
fact that your balls
Life
are
or
still on
death,
the guy's
bro.
ass.
His dick is still on my back.
Yeah.
you're not gonna be thinking about that though when he's breathing in your ear.
Or what's the one too? Those they lie down like on their backs.
Luge.
Yeah, but-
One guy lies down the other guy's lap, basically.
Luge.
No, that's a single.
The two-man luge.
That's a single.
Two-man
Oh, there is a
luge.
two-man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a two-man.
I
Yeah,
believe there is. That's
Oh,
pretty
and they caress the other guy's head. When he-
Skeleton.
Plays with his hair.
Skeleton's
You're
the
like,
single.
It's
man,
okay,
right?
baby. I got this.
I don't know. Doing any kind of artistic equestrian. I don't know if men do that. It would be pretty gay
Yeah.
too.
Interpretive dance is super gay. That's probably the gayest thing a man can do.
What
sure.
about male cheerleaders?
Let's
Oh,
skip
well,
the
then
dishes ad. Pisses me off so bad.
It
Have you seen
depends.
this?
Because like a lot of those male
That's-
cheerleaders are getting mad fucking pussy. You know?
That's
sure
what I was
they
gonna
are.
say. If
They're
you-
also jacked. Some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you became a male cheerleader because of the benefits,
Yeah.
then it's not gay. But if you
Yeah,
came,
just to be jacked
if
and
you
throw
became
around hot
one,
girls.
if you became one because you like cheering, then it might be gay.
Because
I
you
know
want
a guy
to
who's
sniff girls'
good.
crotches in their fucking face when you're throwing them. You
Put your hand on their pussy and
Oh,
Yeah.
dropped you back. Oh,
Get a
yeah,
little-
dropped you.
little thumb in there.
Dirty Sanchez every
Oh, my
time you're
elbow.
out there.
My elbow gave out. Ooh.
I know a guy who did it when he was in high school. He never lived it down.
Yeah.
did what?
Yeah. He was a cheerleader, male cheerleader, and he didn't get any pussy at all.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
sucks. So that's gay.
He was definitely misdirected
I'd
in life.
still rather be a male cheerleader than do interpretive dance.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think men do interpretive dance though.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Oh really?
Yeah, I would
What
for
about
sure they
that
do.
shit? What about that shit with the horse, the stick with the horse's head on
Oh,
it?
the fake horse.
The big horse.
That's
I
just
don't-
psychotic.
That's
You're just
fucked up.
psychotic.
That's not a real sport.
Yeah,
It is a real sport. I
Yeah.
swear to God, yeah.
it is.
Questionable.
Fake horse
Yeah.
Equestrian.
What's the fucking name of it again?
equestrian.
It's got a name.
Here,
It's popular.
hobby horse championship.
Hobby horse. That's it.
Check this shit out, man.
Make a sport out of anything, eh?
Oh my god.
This is great.
It's
Look
in
at
like Finland, isn't it, or something? Like, where do they do this mainly?
I don't know, man, but I feel really bad for these
I think
people.
it's a very big
It
finish.
says
thing.
here, yeah, Finnish Hobby Horse Championships.
I mean, I know they're young girls, so it's like, okay,
There's not much
whatever.
to do over there.
It's like
I'd be
whatever.
pissed at my parents.
I know, but think about it. Like they're only like 10 or whatever, so who gives a shit? Right? But at the
I
same
like how
time,
that one horse was really veiny. That was odd.
This is stupid.
I was gonna say something really bad, but
Yeah,
Yeah, you can go for it. Go
you
for
were
it.
my
thinking the
daughter
same-
ain't playing that.
I was
No one's
gonna say,
listening.
right? Like you really want your daughter walking around with a pole between her legs? Like
My
what the
daughters
fuck?
ain't playing that shit.
How stupid this is.
I know, it's ridiculous.
There is at least a little element of athleticism here, though, because they're jumping.
There is. But
Look
why
at
don't you just jump
look
over
how
shit?
fast-
Look at
how
this
fast-
between your legs.
Holy.
Like that girl
I
thinks,
like how she's acting like she's moving so fast, she's out of control. Like the horse is actually guiding her.
yeah,
They're like skipping around
Look,
the
this
corner.
girl's
Like,
flying.
the fuck?
they're galloping and shit.
Oh my god, come out, Nelly.
Must be some serious injuries in this too.
Take it from a canter to a
Oh,
gallop.
That one girl looked older, man.
Yeah.
well, there's grown women that do this.
Yeah, there's
man.
definitely grown women that do this.
Oh
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
There's
get
like
older.
world championships.
They
of
got
it and
they
shit.
got the pride flag in the background too. That's saying a lot.
Oh yeah. Well,
Geez, that's the gayest thing for sure.
Yeah, but I don't know if
100%.
men do that.
See if there's
I've never
men
seen a
doing
man.
Doesn't matter. It's just gay anyway. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Look up men doing it. See if there is a guy.
oh, probably.
Men's if
Hobby
there is,
horses.
if there is, dude.
Just
There definitely is.
just Google what is the gayest sport.
You guys should all get punched in the head.
I don't see any men's hobby horse.
Well, it's exclusive.
I
Well, it
don't
looks
see.
like we know where we can
Wait.
dominate, boys. Let's do
But
it.
what if you identify as a woman?
Well, this guy's obviously being a fucking troll.
I know he is, but it's funny.
This guy's a Chad. This is fucking hilarious.
This is so great.
He's upset.
This is awesome.
How do they judge that shit?
Paul, we should do this in Detroit. We should have a fucking hobby horse championship.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing that.
Look at these fucking guys. Jesus Christ.
Oh, he's got like 1 million views on this
Record
video.
time comes in, beats all the women first
It
try.
does. It's got 1 million views. Holy
Yeah.
fuck. It's hilarious. Okay. I don't think there's an actual men's hobby horse, but that's fucking funny. Okay. Let's go back. What do we got here? If you all went to a casino with $1,000, who would walk out with the most and what games are y'all playing? I'm probably playing blackjack, but I don't think I'm going to win the most money.
Well, I used to be a dealer.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't mean you can play.
Is that dealer?
I used to be a car dealer.
Yeah,
Steroid
but
dealer?
that doesn't mean you can play.
I know what to play and what not to play.
Okay, so does everybody else who plays blackjack. But what I'm asking you is, have you ever gone in with some money and left with a lot more?
No.
Okay.
I just play
Every time
roulette.
I have no luck at all.
I'd be-
I have shit luck.
Yeah.
Usually when
I've never actually really gambled my life before.
I like gambling. I'm just very conservative, so it's not extremely fun. I'll take out like $300-$500,
Oh,
and when it's gone, it's gone, and usually it gives me a couple hours of fun.
You know, it's a fun game. Craps. Craps is fun because you throw you actually handle the dice and you have somewhat control over the game and it's
yeah, you like those things. Two,
But how
two
do you
things
have
in your hand, eh?
There goes 2 balls in your head.
Two fucking balls in your head.
they're cubes, not balls.
Wait a second though. How do you have
Yeah,
control?
same
Over,
thing.
how do you have control over the game? You don't know what you're going to throw.
The players throw the dice.
I know, but you don't know what
You
you're
bet
gonna
on what
throw.
they're going to throw.
Well, I just
Oh.
mean like you're somewhat, responsible for the outcome. Like at least you have
It's more
something.
active.
It's not just watching the dealer flip cards.
Yeah, but I feel like you're just as in control in blackjack. You got to throw the dice. You don't know what number you're going to throw. Just like
You don't know.
Yeah, just like you don't know what cards he's going to flip over.
But then sometimes you get like someone who's hot. They got a hot hand and they're like rolling.
Yeah,
fucking,
Yeah. I fucking sat down at a blackjack table before. I had a fucking dealer just like flipping 21s, like
Oh yeah,
or 20s, like repeatedly, and like what the fuck? It's no
yeah.
fun.
Blackjack is not fun.
I don't really know how to play anything else. I think that's why I play blackjack. I don't know how to.
Well, that's easy.
Paul, you hitting on 16 or what?
Depends on what the dealer's
Depends on the
showing.
dealers. Yeah, it depends on the dealer's cards. Yeah.
And it's 7 and up. I'm hitting.
Italian restaurant. What appetizer, entree, and dessert are you ordering? I want Paul to go first.
Appetizer. I'm probably gonna go with either a good crab cake,
It's
or
not really Italian.
It's not Italian.
yeah,
The Italian crab cake.
You're
Yeah.
the fakest
All right.
Italian. You're the
Oh!
fakest Italian I know.
I forgot. Actually, you know what? I forgot to.
Oh, now he's gonna
prosciutto.
change it.
You want some prosciutto?
yeah.
Prosciutto.
Oh, some
You
gabagool.
can find out.
Prosciutto.
You can't get good prosciutto at a restaurant.
Cavacola.
No, the one place we used to go to all the time who had Vito's, the meatball. Or that massive meatball. That was an
that's
appetizer.
good. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Start with that. Then I'd probably go with some veal parmesan.
Okay.
And finish it off with some carrot cake.
I got to tell you, none of that is very like authentically Italian. You just
Yeah,
veal
get that
parmesan.
anywhere.
Yeah, veal parmesan is.
I get
I
a
know,
veal parm at Jack Astor's,
but veal.
bro.
But this is the thing. That's the thing. No, that's true.
chicken, Mike.
No, that's why
That's
I said
chicken
it.
parmesan.
No, that's why I said it. The veal parmesan is like to Italian food is like the shawarma of Arabic food. It's the fast food version of like every
Veal
restaurant.
parmesan's more acceptable than chicken parmesan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, but both are very, very like.
So what would you consider an extremely Italian dish to order at a restaurant?
I don't know. That's why I was asking the Italian, but he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I get manicotti. Sometimes I would
Carbonara.
get some ravioli. Depends on the restaurant, really. Depends on what I'm feeling like.
Tortellini.
If I want to go high
Tortellini.
carb or low carb.
Okay.
You looking at me like that for?
What about pizza? You're not going to get pizza?
What the fuck is?
Oh
carrot-
yeah, as an appetizer
Italians
for
are
sure.
And
Don't eat
listen,
pizza?
and listen. Then your dessert, you pick carrot cake. That's Italian.
Well, I don't really like
That's the
tiramisu.
whitest dessert.
I
ever.
know he picked. What did you pick? Crab cakes and carrot cake. None of that is Italian.
You went to New England, then you went just super white.
I'm gonna ask Mike because Mike's got good taste in restaurants. Mike,
Yeah.
Italian restaurant.
Appetizer?
Yeah.
Probably calamari.
Is that
Or
Italian?
or some type of like.
You can get that anywhere.
You can get it.
calamari.
Anywhere, but is it an Italian? Is it an Italian appetizer? I don't know. I'm asking.
No,
Yeah.
is it?
Who
Yeah.
else is it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it is.
don't eat it.
Google it. Google it.
Okay, we're gonna Google.
Yeah, I think it's Greek, maybe. Fuck.
Yeah, it's just fried squid.
Is calamari Italian?
Origin. Just put calamari origin.
Calamari originates from Italy,
Really?
Boom.
so it should
Oh.
make sense that the name comes from the Italian word calamaro.
Oh.
Meaning what?
Was originally Italian for ink pot, pen case, or reed pen. Since squids squirt ink, it makes sense
yeah.
that it would influence the name of the food made from squid.
Hmm.
Okay, Mike,
There you go, Paul.
calamari.
Yeah.
Mike's got you beat so far. What's number
I'm
two?
gonna get
What's-
lasagna,
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
classic.
but I would get a veal parm, but we made fun of that, so I can't. But I get lasagna.
But you would have.
I would have.
You know
got
what?
Both probably.
Veal parm would have been acceptable if the before and after were actually Italian.
I love crab cakes. with
And then
stuff.
the dessert would be tiramisu.
Yeah, that's Italian.
Yeah, I
Ian?
don't like it though.
I don't even know. I'm trying to Google right now to see what fucking Italian dishes I would even like.
I'm gonna go with a caprese salad to start. I'm gonna go. What's that fucking smirk for, Paul? You see his fucking face? Yeah, you said Mike saw that. I said it. And Paul went look at, like he was upset by it or
What are
something.
the fucking tomatoes?
Yeah,
Caprese salad. The fucking salad has got a little bit of cheese in it.
it's fucking delicious and it's Italian, unlike fucking crab cakes.
It's like I'm gonna get mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
Fucking Paul's face. I say caprese salad. He's like, huh. Fucking asshole.
That's what white people order at an Italian restaurant.
All right. Are you picking anything, Ian, or no?
No, go ahead.
Okay. What's more important, feeling the muscle or pushing heavy weight? That's
Both.
actually a good question.
Fuck.
I know what you're going to say, Mike, but I don't think it's an easy question. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you why. I would say feeling, right? But then I think of like things like squats. I don't really feel squats the way I feel like a pec deck.
Because one's isolation, one's
But
compound.
you think squats are the overall best thing for legs for you, but it's not like an isolatory movement where a pec deck is isolatory in nature.
Okay, but let's take a compound then. I don't feel squats. Like I don't feel the contraction or the feeling in my legs the same way I feel like a bench press.
I would put it in the same category.
It's the same category, but for me personally, for
Yeah,
feeling,
see, for me, I would feel it the same. Like I don't like feel my chest so much in a bench press, but like I get a good pump from it.
But your chest is poop, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow, he ate that. He ate that one. I thought he was gonna shit. I thought he was gonna shit on me for that. I fucking got away.
Self-admitted, I say
I
my
got-
chest sucks all
Second
the
the
time.
Arnold's.
I got away with it.
That's
Yeah,
what I think
I thought he was
I'd
gonna hit
follow
me with a second at the Arnold's.
Still had better
Second best chest
quantity,
with the
though.
Arnold's.
Okay.
Good enough
Anyway,
for Arnold.
anyways, no, but this is actually,
Six pro wins.
listen, this is actually a serious conversation because I kind of understand what the guy, I know people say one or the other, but I kind of feel like I've experienced both. And sometimes I'm okay with just putting more weight on and not necessarily feeling the muscle as much as I would on something else.
Yeah, I think there has to be like a component of that. Like when I said that it's both, I don't think that you need to overly feel all lifts that you do, but I think that you should create a good connection.
Yeah.
In your like create a good framework to move that weight. And
Okay.
therefore that elicits like an overall like a deadlift. I don't feel certain things on a deadlift, like isolatory weight. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm just gonna stand up with the weight, but I know everything along that chain is moving how it should, just like the chain's moving how it should going on a squat and down, right?
But
I'm
that's
not thinking about my quad. Like I might be, but I'm more concerned about like my back position, my chest position, my head position. And I know if I hit that spot, I'm coming out the way I should.
But that's kind of my point. So there are some movements that lend themselves to more weight and don't necessarily, you don't have to rely more on the feel. You can rely on the weight as long as you're as long as you're doing it properly.
Yeah, I think that that's the biggest thing that's hindering people. Like I preach a lot about movement and form and all this stuff, but it's also, I understand like I'm talking when I talk to people in videos or train people, it's more like I'm talking to someone who's on experience level that understands this like foregone conclusion that you have to push yourself to like make something happen. So like I want to help you push yourself in a more effective like way so that you're less stressed, less chance of injury, more chance of activating or hitting the stuff you're feeling. But I don't want to sacrifice your willingness to like be an animal. I just want to make being an animal safer for people, right? Like I heard some guy on Dave Tate's podcast today, like talking about like you have to like understand what it feels like to dominate weight.
Yeah.
Like that has to be a part of what you're able to do or what you've done in the past or that you still incorporate here or there, like to become these monsters that people want to become and to put this muscle on you to become, you have to be willing to go there. And there could be things where you like tweak shit.
Yeah.
There could be things wherever you're just trying to mitigate that, but understanding like it's like saying I'm going to go boxing. I'm going to go spar someone. I'm not going to get punched.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're 100% going to get punched.
Yeah.
But it's just like over time, you learn how to take those shots easier, roll with them or block them or slip them. Like I'm not getting punched repeatedly and just walking back in the ring because I'm just thinking about where's my foot? Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So let me ask you this then. Okay. So basically the answer would be that some things you're going to feel more than others, but the most important things that you're doing the movement properly. Is that kind of like, is that a good general answer?
yeah, and I think with your more experience, once you understand that you're in the right positions to be doing stuff, and you have the right aggression to now move that weight and to like be aggressive with it, then it's like over time, the feeling becomes more second nature. Like I start to connect better because I realize I don't have to be so tense up top. I can relax more and lock into my scapula like on a squat. And I can understand like I can hinge my hip first and I can sit down. It's not just this rush to fall.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm doing all these things and over time, like with experience, like all of us done, like we know just like this is how I approach things.
Right.
And that's why you know when you take something off and things aren't going well, you're like, oh fuck, rack this shit. Something's going on. Like,
yeah.
But these kids nowadays are thinking about every minute detail of what they're doing and like this and this and this and this. And none of them have this like aggression.
Yeah.
Like, there's no aggression. Like not that you should be posting PRs and like going for heavy weights that are ridiculously out of your ability to do that. But like there has to be aggression within the set and understand that like, yeah, there could be a weight you take off and maybe not be able to press it and squeeze your chest together and then come back down and control. It might get to the point where everything's moving the way it should, but it's going 3/4 reps. Yeah. Because that's all you can muster, but you're still creating this intense stress on your chest and creating this muscle connection and doing all this stuff, but you're creating more stress with the poundage, right? But the distance isn't as much. But so this understanding of locking out and like creating these full range of motion and all this stuff, it's like I said, like when I've said in the past, it's just your full range of tension. Understanding that is the most important thing from the beginning.
So this is kind of a separate conversation. I want to go back, but I do want to ask you. So I think what you're saying, a lot of that has to do with the new culture of, well, I kind of term it nerd culture in bodybuilding. Like everybody's trying to be so perfect and so textbook.
Slow, squeezy fucking.
Yeah, everyone's trying to be so perfect and so textbook that they forgot there's an emotional component to bodybuilding that actually makes you a little bit crazy. And that's why you see these guys doing memes with like 1990s bodybuilding versus 2025, and the guy in 2025 is doing this. And then you got Kevin Levrone with 100-pound dumbbells fucking just heaving the shit. I know the form is not, but I understand. I guess I understand what you're saying. Is there an emotional component or an
There's
aggressive?
also an evolution to form that people don't understand. Like when all of us do stuff, it might not look to the person watching who has this like eye of being like, is this the optimal way?
Right.
But I've been doing it for fucking a decade.
Right.
So I know when I'm on the muscle and when I'm not. And I understand my range of motion and I understand down to the fibers feel like my bicep, but I understand like exactly where I'm pulsing my bicep and moving my bicep. It may look like I'm doing this, but I'm understanding my leverage on my curl and moving through things, and I'm understanding the squeeze of my hand.
Right.
But these are all invisible things to these people's eyes because they're like, you're not doing the full thing that it says to do.
It's
You know
funny.
what I mean?
It's funny you said that because we were watching old clips of my training because Stefan was making fun of me, so I brought up some old training clips, and I was saying, oh, you know, I'm moving a little fast, whatever. Well, and Stefan's like, no, you're not. He's like, you're totally in control.
Yeah.
He's like, you're moving fast. But you're in control of the weight.
It's like it's equating it to riding a bicycle, right? Like, are you more stable when you're faster or going slower?
Right.
If you're riding a bicycle slowly, you're fucking all over the place. As soon as you develop speed, you go.
Yeah.
And you stay level and you stay balanced. But as soon as you slow down, all that stuff happens, right?
Right.
So these kids are still riding the training wheels.
Yeah.
And expecting to ride down the street and just fucking take off. It's like, no, you got to take those fuckers off and be able to stabilize on your own and go, right? Like,
let me go back to the question real quick because I have a secondary question about it. If there's a way, just assume a hypothetical movement. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but there are some movements that I can't think of one off the top of my head, but that I felt that when I'm going lighter, I can feel the muscle very clearly. But as I go heavier, I don't have the same feeling, but I know I need to go heavier to work the muscle the way I need to work it. Is that wrong or is that normal? Like if I squat,
what do I think personally?
Like if I squat one plate, right? And I have absolutely perfect form and everything, I can probably feel like that lactic acid build up and I can feel the fibers the way I would on a bench press or anything. But if I get to 5 plates, I don't have the same level of feeling in each fiber that I would with one plate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. It's more like you're equating like because you're the lighter weight you can connect better but you feel like in your mind that the heavier weight would elicit better results. Like your goal is to lift heavier.
Yes. I can feel one plate more, but it's not going to give me the same amount of growth as 4 or 5 plates.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't equate it to one plate to like 4 plates, but I mean, if you're able to move 3 plates and understand your connection and really understand the press and like hold your lats tight, retract your scapula and all that stuff. And like if you think that if you go to 4 plates and you're like, man, I'm completely out of control, I would argue that you going to the 4 plates is not the smartest thing going to like 350, right?
But hold on, you're changing the form. I'm saying my form on a 3-plate squat is the same as my form on a 4-plate squat. But as the weight gets heavier, even from 1, 2, 3, every plate I add, I feel a little less, but I get a better pump and I know my legs are growing. So I'm like, how can that be wrong?
Yeah.
I don't think it is wrong if everything is the same, like in terms of form and technique and everything. It's just maybe over time that 4 plates will probably feel like the 3 plates.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're going to acclimate to that weight and that stress. But it's like I wouldn't be too concerned that I'm not overstimulated because you've stimulated so much leading up to the 4 plates. That it's like, there's going to be less sensation.
Right.
Necessarily in the muscle because of the lactic acid and because of the blood there.
Yeah.
So it's like if you have the ability to push more weight safely, then you should try.
Yeah.
Like within reason. Don't like jump from 4 plates to 5 plates and be like, oh, that was stupid. Do you know what I mean? But
I guess
pushing yourself is a part of it, right?
I guess the reason I'm asking is again to just drive the point home that feeling is important, but not everything.
Yeah, I think people who are like super experienced with lifting weights, like you guys, like if you take someone back to like say, I don't think Iain has a bad chest, but say Iain has a bad chest. If you start taking Iain down to like into these positions that he's like where he's starting to like originate movement again and I really learn how to like fire a muscle and getting like turning on these switches it's not to say that all his form is going to change. It's just on him understanding like a little more connection from the beginning and being like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to still press the way I press, but I'm going to be a little bit more conscious about how hard I pull my lats in and how much I press through my hand as opposed to my shoulder.
Right.
So it's not going to change much, but it's like these little things, and he's still going to be as intense as he was, but he's not going to go down to like doing 30-pound dumbbell presses and be like, oh,
yeah,
and like,
of course. Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like,
Ian, you were going to say something earlier where you
No, I mean, I agree 100% with how Mike described that.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, you know, the training wheels thing he used is exactly right. I mean, I think people think that slower means more controlled, and I completely disagree with that fact. I don't think doing a 6-second negative has any benefit, and I don't think that means you're eliciting more control over the weight than somebody that has more experience that can do, you know, heavier poundages at what they deem as their level of control. So yeah, no, I agree 100%. And I think that animalistic like authority that you put over the weight, like Mike was describing, is, in my opinion, one of the most important things that a lot of guys lack now in training.
Yeah.
You know, and it was even like I was saying earlier, remember I was saying like in my training now, how like even now I feel like I'm like fucking just pushing into that shit more. And like I can feel that is, you know, the productivity is higher there, you know? And so but like I think feeling is important, but to a point. And that's exactly kind of what Mike was saying. I think it's important, and like you guys are saying, but it's not everything.
Yeah.
Like, look, I can do push-ups and feel them way more than I can feel a fucking 150-pound dumbbell press. I know it's not nearly.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I can do a banded curl and fucking with that. Oh my God, it feels fucking good. Yeah. I know that's not doing as much as me doing 150 pounds on a fucking cable or a barbell or a dumbbell.
Right.
You know, I know that tension is one of the most, if not the most, in my opinion, important drivers for hypertrophy. So yeah, I take it with context, but I think that feeling of connection changes with experience, you know?
I was going to say, when you were saying that, it something clicked in my mind. You know, when you see like an older generation say, oh, the younger generation doesn't know how to fucking train. They're all pussies. They don't train hard, blah, blah, blah. I actually think that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I think these guys are training hard, but they just don't seem like, I see guys training fucking hard. They're lifting heavy weights and they're going to failure, but they don't seem to have that, like,
there's a difference.
The aggressive.
They're afraid of aggression almost.
There's a difference.
It's almost like they're trying.
It's like an apprehensiveness of like, oh, one, I think I'm doing too much. I'm not in control. And two, I'm overtraining.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing too much. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like this constant preservation of like, I'm preserving myself for the next, like this whole thing of like reps and reserve and shit. It's like, stupid. Guys, what are we fucking talking about? The idea, if that was true, would be to have none. Yeah. I don't want to have any. Yeah. I don't want to fucking collect my reps in reserve. Like, I don't want to think to myself, I could have got 3 more there. Well, then fucking get them.
No, there's a mentality there that I think people don't quite understand that is so animalistic in nature, like where you can do a set and push it to failure. And if you fucking just attack the weights on it, like Mike's saying, fucking squeeze your hands tight and fucking push through that and have that different, it changes the set dynamic completely. And it's like what felt like failure before will still feel like failure, but it could be 3 more reps of what you got to failure before with the same level of control, with just a different level of like force generation and oomph, you know? Yeah. That until you've experienced it is a very, very hard thing to explain. And I think all of us have experienced it. And I think that's why we were able to be the level of bodybuilders that we were able to be. But it's something that people like, they're like, I'm training to failure. I'm like, I understand you think that, but there is a mental component there that is just missing. That the guys, when you see guys that know how to fucking train hard, when they do it, it's just different. Yeah. And like, I've been there, you guys have been there, you know that like there's pushing and it's like, oh yeah, okay, I can't do any reps left versus just getting under that and just fucking.
Summer used to say it to me.
Yeah.
Summer used to say to me, she goes, when I watch you train, your face changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I used to feel when I was like in my prime, right?
I can be sitting there over the set and I'm like completely calm. And then it's like, okay, time to go fucking just walk, you know, like
I love the sound effects.
Yeah. But don't like, and I felt it today, and that's what I was saying. It's like that's a good feeling to have back into my training. Like, you know, you get that, and I can just feel it. Like weights that I didn't gain 20% in strength over the last week, but like I was doing, you know, chest supported T-bar rows with good control for 8-10 reps a week ago. This week I'm like, I just want to fucking challenge myself. I put on the same weight with the same control, and I just fucking exerted dominance on. I did the exact same amount of reps with the exact same amount of control that I did with 5 plates a week ago. You know, like, and it was just it was just a mental switch. It wasn't that I didn't go physiological. It wasn't my failure point was different. It was my fucking mindset was completely different. You know,
I think a lot of guys from this day and age are like it's like we're talking about like slow negatives. All this. I think they've put too much emphasis on. They understand this concept of tension, but for some reason they think it's whole body tension. They think it's like restricted breathing, bracing core, all this stuff. But you and I all know, like if you've squatted 5 plates for reps or 4 plates for reps, I'm conscious of what I'm doing with my upper body, but I'm literally bouncing in that hole. Because I'm fucking moving, and you can hear the plates. That's why, because that inertia of that motion up and down is causing those weights to fucking shake. These guys will go down and be like, this, and they're fucking holding, like I train people like this every day. Like I'm in the gym, so I see this shit all the time. As soon as these people pick up weights or get underweight,
they brace their whole body.
Fucking rigor mortis. It's like, bro, you're fucking doing legs. Just get your posture up, set your scapula or wherever it is that you're doing, tuck into the thing, let the weight fall and let yourself stand up. Stop fighting everything all the time. If you're using your feet to push, this is a fucking exercise for your legs. Stop using your traps to fucking do a shrug or to do a hack squat. You're like, eh. It's like, that's not you creating tension by breathing heavy or not breathing is not eliciting more tension. It's just causing restriction.
Actually being less scientific and causing more fucking axial fatigue, you know?
Paul, you were going to say something before we move on?
Well, look at the influences though, like, you know, like more you guys than me, but we had when we were young, like it was Dorian Yates videos, Ronnie Coleman videos, Branch Warren videos. These guys were going nuts in the gym. Nowadays, the influences aren't like that.
And the funny thing is you say that has nothing to do with form, because Dorian Yates' form is fucking perfect. But he still had this like really fucking aggressive emotion that came with his training.
Like crazy. Like, you know,
it's also impressive and really great form for a guy that fucking big. That heavily muscled to be moving the weights he's moving. Because even if these fucking nerds look at it and they're like, I mean, he could pull a little deeper on that barbell row. It's like, no, dude, his lats are bigger than your quads. So he can't do that. And his shoulders don't move back that far. So that's full range for him. But trust me, it's all on his back, as you can see when he stands up and you're like, oh, he's got 2 balloons under his arms for lats. So he's hitting lats.
Okay, last note on this before we move on. Some guy sent me a TikTok the other day. It was a stitch, so there was the second part to it, thank God. But the original person that created the TikTok was some science influencer, and he's like, he had a green screen of Jay Cutler in the background from 2009 doing the quad stuff.
And he's like, too bad Jay didn't have you. It would have been so much better.
Imagine these pros, the incredible physiques. If they just knew how to train, how much bigger would they actually be? And then he got stitched by this other guy, and he's like, yeah, you fucking 160 pound soaking wet fucking nerd are telling Jay Cutler that he could have been better. And it was just so telling. I'm like, the level of fucking arrogance is just outrageous when people are like, they have no idea what it even, like that kid that made that TikTok video probably has no idea what Jay even looked like in real life, let alone to critique.
Can't comprehend it either. Even if he sees it in pictures, he can't comprehend it in person. It's uncomprehendable. He'll look from the side. He's thicker than you are from the front.
We've been around these guys all our lives. Sometimes I still walk in, like I'll see Regan, and I'm like, this isn't normal. Like your fucking shoulders are this wide. Your fucking chest to back thickness is like, and it's but it's mind blowing. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to. We could do this all night.
I also take all this shit with such a grain of salt now, because I know rage bait is like the style of content that these guys, they'll post shit of, you know, like Chris Bumstead doing an exercise, and they'll be like,
I know,
him doing leg press with like 4 plates, and then them doing leg press with 9 plates, and be like, blah blah blah, stronger than Mr. Olympia. And it's like people will be like, you're fucking retarded, blah blah blah. It's like,
they just want the clicks.
That's the content.
Right.
Any interesting stories tied to near-death experiences? Every day, Paul's in the car with me.
Yeah, I can attest to that. That's for sure. Today, you fucking scared the shit out of me.
I have kind of a good one.
What?
It's not near death, but definitely near severely life-altering. This is embarrassing to say. I don't even know if I've said this on the... I think I've said this on the podcast actually once, where I fucking discharged my dad's handgun in his house, almost blew my fucking leg off.
Yeah, you told
shot it through the floor, and it came out my basement ceiling and fucking through the wall. And like I was on the phone with my girlfriend, sitting cross-legged, and fucking fired this gun like a millimeter away from my knee. You know,
Jesus Christ, man! Can you imagine the fucking?
oh my,
how
I would have
life-altering?
had no leg. My whole leg would have been gone from the knee down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I don't think I have anything like. I mean, when I think back to my early 20s, I wonder sometimes how I'm not dead.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any one thing particular other than most of them are driving incidences.
Yeah.
There's one time I can remember specifically that I should have died, but I can't tell the story. But it was also car related.
There was one time in Mexico I went to get some party supplies from this guy. And I was pretty sure that I was not coming back when I got in his car. And me and my buddy were sitting in, like, he was in the back seat, I was in the front seat, and he's like, "I'll be back in 1 second." It was a dark just area with like underneath there's a hill and a house, and this guy and my buddy's like, "What's happening?" I'm like, "I don't know. I think we're probably going to die." I was like, "I don't think he's coming back." And then this guy gets in the car. He's like, "We got to go up the street." We go up to the top of the street. There's fucking like 15 Mexican fucking gangster dudes sitting on a wall staring at us. He parks the car right there. I'm like, "Oh, we're fucking dead, bro." I was like, and then some guy comes by in a scooter. He goes, he puts the thing in the window, and the guy takes off. I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here, man."
We had a similar experience in Mexico. I remember we got chased down a golf course.
Did we? I remember the golf course. We got chased.
Did we?
Yeah, you remember?
I was really fucked up. I remember the golf course just very faintly, but
it was like day 5 or 6 of a bender.
Yeah,
and we thought it'd be a good idea to go visit our friend again, and then we had like second thoughts when we got there. So we
ran out of party supplies, so we had to go back.
I feel like anyone that was dabbling into party supplies in those like years of their life in Mexico has some fucking stories. Yeah, Mike's is extreme, but I have one same in Cancun, very similar. Yeah.
Did we write? What happened again? We went to meet the guy, and then what happened? I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
We set it up, and then we're like, maybe we've been doing this stuff for 4 or 5 days now. Maybe we shouldn't do it tonight. And then the guy showed up. We just started running down the golf course, and he was chasing after us with it.
You take this stuff right now. You take it.
Does Mike think we'll ever find out the Epstein Island list?
No,
I don't think so either. That's the funny thing. Me and Paul were talking about that today. They're going to release the JFK files.
And did they?
And I said to Paul, they are, but they're all going to be fucking redacted.
So what's the point?
It's like they're going to release 700 pages with like black marker.
Even if they release something, it'll be something they want you to see. There'll be nothing that like is unfavorable to people that could fucking be really fucked up by it.
Would Paul eat extra wet wings with a bowl of soup every day for dinner for the rest of his life, or never be able to take gear ever again?
Soup and wings is that important to me? There's no way.
Really?
Wow. I need TRT food. I'm 52 years old.
Are you that much of a junkie?
I'm not a junkie. I need TRT.
You're a fucking addict, bro.
You're a junkie, dude.
No, I'm not a junkie. If I want to perform optimally, I need a little bit of assistance on my
dude. You hate
levels.
wings and soup. You would eat wings and soup every day for the rest of your life just to take 300 milligrams of juice a week,
as opposed to taking nothing ever again. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You wouldn't
call.
I took nothing for a while. I was fine.
I've been on everything for a year and a half.
Yeah, you're 30.
35, Paul.
Yeah.
I'm 46. What's your excuse? I was fine.
I don't know. I've been on TRT for a while. I think I'd be producing nothing.
I'm producing nothing. My test levels were like 100 when I went to the doctor, but I felt fine.
Yeah. Yeah? How about performance and stuff?
Not as great as I would like it to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty important to me.
But if I had to eat something I hated every day for the rest of my life,
I would find ways to make it more palatable.
How would you make soup more palatable?
I'd probably put some chicken in there, some rice.
You're like, I would make it a stew.
And then it would just turn it into a bodybuilding meal with fucking liquid in
it. All right, we'll do one or two more, then we'll go. What are your guys' thoughts on cloning your dog?
Oh my God, I would clone my dog in a second.
Make 5 of them.
Yeah. If I could keep this dog alive for the rest of my life, I would pay any amount of money.
I'm just going to answer this one blanket statement. Fouad, what was your first impression of each member of BroChat? All I'm going to say is each member is somebody I get along with, I trust, and I like. I don't know what my first impression would be.
Ours was bad.
Paul's my best friend, so that doesn't count. My first impression with Iain, before the podcast was he was a snob. And
Well, wait,
and
that was because of Tony Cyril though. That wasn't my fault.
no, it was also your fault because when you and your when you and your brother came down to guest post for me, you guys didn't even talk to us.
We were scared of you, not because we were snobs.
Oh, okay.
We were like 19 years old, bro. We were little kids. You were fucking like the best bodybuilder in the fucking country, and we're like little kids, like at your show, you know?
It's funny though, and then in our heads though, we were like, these guys are snobs, but in your head, you're like,
Yeah, we're fucking terrified.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Mike, loyal, James, well thought out, Ben, principled, Guy,
Guy.
That says it all.
Okay, next.
do any of y'all have a playlist on Spotify that we could copy?
No.
Fouad, you have really good music.
Yeah, I don't have a playlist like made though. I
have one made that's pretty decent, but it depends what you want it for. If it's for working out, it's terrible. If it's for driving a motorcycle or fucking going snowboarding or something, it's epic.
Okay. Let's see. Last one. Have you guys seen that Magazine Dreams movie yet or no?
No.
Sorry.
Magazine,
that movie.
yeah. With
Magazine Dreams?
I think it's Jonathan Withers or something.
Magazine Dreams.
Yeah.
Magazine Dreams. It's
not
body.
out yet, is
it's
it?
a body. No, I don't think it's.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't there a couple bodybuilders?
They
in
make
it?
don't they make
Yeah.
him look like a fucking
Breon's in it.
dick?
Yeah, Brian's
Is
in
he?
it?
It comes out this weekend. I guess that's what this question says.
Like at the movie theater, or is it like on a platform?
I don't know. It just says, "Are you guys going to watch Magazine Dreams coming out
I'll
this
watch it.
weekend?"
I'll probably watch it.
They sent me a screener like a month ago because they wanted me to interview that Jonathan Withers guy on my podcast, but I just never got around to watching.
Oh,
it.
you should have mine.
Yeah, bring him on bro chat.
We'll ask him which way he wipes.
I'll ask him why he was chasing his girlfriend down the street trying to beat her up. Anyway.
I just got caught up
Things
with,
get out of hand a bit.
I just got caught up with. I'm just finishing the most recently out Severance, so I'm on like.
I haven't
season 2
seen that.
episode.
Is that good?
It's good to watch. The first season's kind of slow, then it picks up, and now you're like in season 2. There's like so many questions in your head. You like have to keep watching. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, my
Like, you
client
just-
sent me a half-hour recap of the season 1. He said, "Don't even watch it, just watch 2."
Yeah,
Really?
two like season 1 is kind of just like setting the stage and like learning what being severed is and all this kind of shit and kind of setting up the relationships in the people. But then like season 2 is when shit starts to like really start to happen. Like people are getting out of there and stuff is fucking. So there's one more episode left for this season, I think, which comes out Friday. Episode 10 is on Friday, so it's been fucking good though. But
It's a pretty weird show, isn't it? Like kind of like
oh yeah, it's filmed kind of fucking wacky and like crazy cinematography. It's really well
They
done.
go to work
guys
every
are gonna
day and
have to take it for
they
the next
forget
2
what they
minutes. I gotta
fucking forget what they're doing right when they leave.
Yeah, it's like you sign up for that, you're being severed. So it's like, say, Paul, if you really didn't want to, like, have to go to work every day, like you're like, I fucking hate my job. It's like you leave for your house. The second you get to work, you don't remember it. And then all you just remember is like, it's instantaneous. And then you're leaving work.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. But then what it does though, is the whole like aspect of the show is that now creates another identity of you that only exists within the workplace. So now there's a version of Paul that only exists once you step into work and never leaves work. So
Right.
like you're always at work because that part of you is severed from your outside body. So they call them innies and outies. You have like your innie, which is the person that's only at work ever.
Yeah.
That, like they're the person that comes out of the elevator and is at work all the time. And then the person that never goes to work, that's your outie. So then like they're two completely different people. They don't have the same memories, the same things. They become very different people. And then there's kind of like the rebellion against your innie and your outie,
Is that what like sort of like what schizophrenia would be like? You have two different personalities. You don't even remember going back and forth.
Well, maybe with a little edge of paranoia on there, but no, it's not like schizophrenia. It's more just like complete and utter absent, like memory loss of your time at work. So they don't know what they do as their job. They have no idea.
Yeah.
They don't know what they do. They don't know the people they do, like they know the relationships, anything. It's like you could have a wife at home and then like, you don't even know you have a wife at home and you're fucking the girl at the office. You don't even
Right.
know.
Right.
It's like,
yeah.
you don't know you got a wife at home. So I'm going to fuck this bitch at the office, like,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
So it's
the fucking of girls aside, I don't do that, but that's kind of what I do now when I go to work. I kind of just turn my
Just
brain
zone
off
out,
on
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be like that. But it's literally like you go to work, you get in an elevator, and then you instantly are leaving work, and that's your existence. But then there's a Paul that is only ever at work because that's his only existence. You know?
Right. Gotcha.
And he doesn't know any of your external life. Like that part is erased from their memory, you know?
Yeah, like if
Okay,
that Paul
that's pretty cool
doesn't
concept.
want to do juice, you're fucked.
Yeah.
He never takes his shots.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care because I'm detached from that, Paul.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be. I wouldn't even have any memory of him.
Yeah. You would just have to control it to make sure you're doing all your shots.
Imagine both the Pauls were on TRT and you're really taking like 1,000
Double the
milligrams a week.
I'd be huge, and I would like, man, the fucking hyper responder,
Fucking massive off 300
hyper
milligrams.
responder here. I'm only taking 4 minutes a week.
Have you guys watched Dope Thief yet?
Yeah, it's all right.
No.
So far, it's pretty decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on
Guys that pretend to be the DEA and rob drug dealers and the fucking crazy shit that happens in one of their escapades. You know.
Okay.
I'm watching when 1923 is back on.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys care.
I'm gonna wait till the
Are
season's
you guys
done
into
to
that
watch
at
it.
all? It's
I liked it.
It's a Yellowstone spinoff. I'm stuck on that one in 1883, but that's not back yet.
I'm
Am I the old guy for watching that?
Yeah.
No, I watched both of those.
Yeah,
You're 52.
Yeah,
That doesn't make me feel any better.
I love that show. I smoke my pipe while I watch it.
in my slippers, you know.
Yeah.
Can somebody
Sip
tell
on a
me?
tea.
Can somebody tell me how to lose more weight before we go?
What?
Ozempic.
I'm stuck at. I think I'm going to start using Ozempic. I think I'm going to start using Ozempic again.
Yeah, some
So
Trizepatide.
I was asking Fouad this. Is like, are people microdosing that now? I thought I came across some articles about that
Very
now.
common. Yeah.
Well,
So
if I-
daily instead of weekly?
If
No,
I was
not daily, just a small dose.
no,
Okay.
it was always daily anyway. Ozempic is daily.
Really?
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was
weekly.
Ozempic's
weekly.
daily?
Weekly.
I thought,
Ozempic's
I
weekly.
thought I did. I thought I did.
Yeah. Ozempic's once a week.
Oh no,
There's
you're
a new
right.
one
You're
out.
right.
There's
yeah.
a new one out now called like Repetide or something like that.
Yeah,
I forget.
Repetide.
Isn't it Retetrotide or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's supposed
That one's
to be, like,
not.
the most-
That's not FDA approved yet, but that's coming out. Right now, I think semaglutide is the only one. Is the newest one.
Moderna.
That's yeah. So
So
I'm thinking I'm going to start microdosing it because I want to be able to still eat and train and do all that, but I'm like, I don't want to be hungry anymore.
what's the benefit of microdosing it rather than
Yeah, I
doing
agree.
You're just going to get less of the like nausea side effects of it, or like make you feel like
Well,
upset
because
shit. But you're going to less appetite suppression, so it depends.
but people
There's
work
also secondary health benefits. Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's not your fault. I think people are scared to use the normal amount because they're not eating and then they're losing muscle mass, which is actually making them fatter when they stop using it.
Okay, so they still want the effects, just not
They
as
want to
dramatic.
suppress their appetite. They just don't want to suppress their appetite so much that they stop eating completely.
Okay,
Because people are losing weight, but they're losing muscle and fat.
yeah, because
they're
they're
just-
eating so little.
So then their
Okay.
metabolism is even slower when they stop because now they have less muscle. So then they actually get fatter when they stop taking it.
Okay.
The fat comes back and they actually gain more weight.
So it sounds like unless you're someone who's obese, like probably microdosing is a better option for most people.
I mean,
People who are like morbidly obese are the ones that are
Just
gonna
take like
benefit.
200 mics of T3. You'll be good.
theoretically, that would make the most sense because you'd still be able to eat, but it would curb your appetite a little bit. That's kind of
Perfect.
what I would guess anyway. Anyway, I'm stuck at fucking 246. Ian, tell me what to do. You're the trainer of Mr. Olympia.
Eat less.
I can't eat less.
Eat less, move more.
Bro, you were a pro bodybuilder. You're used to being fucking hungry and getting down to that fucking nitty gritty. Do more cardio, eat less food. The end.
Ian, right. I understand how to do that. I need it to be sustainable. I can't eat 1,500 calories for the rest of my life.
Well, you don't need to eat 1,500 to get under 246.
I'm only eating like 2,400 calories right now.
Well,
Get in,
2,400, then
get in the salt bike at your gym and just nail that every day. Hit cardio.
2,400, but then there's their 1 day a week that's like 9,000.
No.
No days.
No, no.
Thought
So
you
yes,
more.
that one. No.
So your average for the week is still like 4,000.
No, I'm
you know?
not doing that anymore. That's not true.
I have a hard time believing you're not doing any like significant off meals.
I'm telling you.
If you show us your Uber Eats right now,
Yeah,
are we
pull it
gonna
up.
see
Let's
something we
see
don't
your
want to see on
okay,
it?
but
Pull
wait,
up your Uber Eats. Pull it up.
Wait,
Pull it up. Pull it up.
Wait.
No, wait. Pull it up.
Wait, hold on a minute. I was sick for a week.
Oh, okay.
I was sick for a week,
Yeah.
and I went off my diet a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But before
Sick
that,
every week.
I want to see your last 4 orders on Uber Eats.
Yeah. Let's see. Read your Uber Eats out. Let's see it.
wait.
You got a large pizza last night.
Whole family
It was a moment
shawarma,
of weakness. Moment of
family
weakness.
shawarma platter, you know?
March 14th,
Okay, so 4 days ago.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. What'd you get? Oh, that's ultimate fat.
Slurpee, burrito.
Hot dog and chili.
Ben and Jerry's.
Oh my god, bro.
Ketchup chips.
How many bags?
Another Ben and Jerry's.
What are you talking about? I can't lose weight.
I didn't eat all
4
this.
days ago.
He's plateaued, Mike.
This is.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a
Trying to
minute.
spark my metabolism. Just trying to get it going again.
Also on March 14th,
It's getting worse.
Subway.
Oh my god. What'd you get from somebody like a fucking
Yeah, what was the
tuna
order?
melt?
I know what he gets from there.
March 11th.
Another fucking 2 days before that.
Vito's Pizzeria.
What'd you get for a pizza? How much?
March 8th.
Oh my god, these are every 2 days, bro.
Yes.
Subway again.
This is literally three days between each one. Yeah.
He can't lose weight, Ian.
Wait, March 4th, Swiss Chalet was canceled.
Well, they probably canceled
They
it.
canceled
held
it.
it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Then what did you order instead? It was canceled, and then you ordered what?
I ordered from a different Swiss Chalet.
Okay.
Give them a bad review too.
Okay, timeout. Just timeout.
No, there's no timeout.
This time, just give me 1 minute. Okay.
No. Wow.
Before the Arnold, it was like 4 weeks, and my body was stuck at 246. And now it's been 4 days, and I'm stuck at 246 again. I had a bad week. I got sick, and then I fell off. I was sick, and I was like, I just want to fucking eat. I don't fucking care. I'm just sick. I want to eat.
Yeah.
And now I'm back to work.
2 steps forward, 1 step back, bro.
I know. But 246 is better than 260.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you can't fix it, add a drug in, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Paul,
Yep.
lead us off with a prayer.
Don't forget about fucking
Brian.
Peter.
Brian, don't forget about Brian.
All right. Let us bow our heads. Dear leader, tonight we're going to dedicate this prayer to Brian.
Oh, God.
He's got some problems right now, and he needs a little help, a little prayer for him. So here you go, Brian. Hope you feel better.
What?
Huh?
There was no prayer.
What's the prayer?
You
Yeah,
didn't
I'm going to get into that part now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were done.
No, not yet. No, it won't be long though. Well, as we conclude another night here of conversation, we touched upon quite a few things tonight. Ian's semen is getting a little thicker, a little creamier, which is good to hear. Hopefully, have some babies in there pretty soon.
Thank you, Paul.
I got to update my Candidly, my availability on there.
It's not candidly, it's Calendly.
Sorry,
Not candidly.
but
Candid camera. Candid camera.
Calendly.
Calendly.
Yeah, don't worry. Throw them off the scent. They won't know where to go.
Oh my God.
We had a very lively debate about Classic with Fouad and Ian. I think we took something out of that. And we touched upon some European trivia, Italian cuisine. And it was a
You
great
fucking
conversation
made
tonight.
notes. You made notes.
You know that you're just giving them a rundown of what we just did.
Oh, I
Just
decided
give
to
me a
take a new.
podcast synopsis.
I decided to take a new approach with the
You
prayers
made
since
notes. You made notes the whole
Yeah,
podcast, didn't you?
Yeah.
And now you're just like, I'm going to repeat all of it at the end.
well, I was going to summarize it. I thought maybe that's a different direction I'll start taking with the
That's
prayers.
not a prayer, though, Paul.
Okay, you actually didn't say a prayer for this kid's dad who's in the hospital.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a lesson I wanted to take out of every conversation.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So
we
a life-
interrupted you again.
Let's
Yeah.
get to that. Yeah.
a life lesson, if you will. So the lesson I took from the conversations and debates that we had tonight was
Trying to think of something.
there's no lesson.
What's the lesson?
Nobody learns anything out of these conversations, to be honest. I don't think
It's a complete waste of time.
Yeah. I got a really busy week this week, and I'm kind of stressed out a little bit with what's coming up. So
Here we are,
I
back to this.
just want to get through the week, really. and see how that goes, and we'll get back at this next week.
All right, Brian, that's your prayer, brother. Sorry.
Brian,
Get
feel
better soon, Brian.
So
We
go in
love you,
peace,
man.
Brian. Go in peace.
Go in peace.
He's not going to die.
He dies?
My heart goes out to you, Brian. My heart goes out to you.
Peaceful transition to the afterlife.
Yes, right. Yeah. I hope
Jesus Christ.
whatever life has next in store for you, Brian, it's pleasant.
Oh my God. All right.
He just had spine surgery. He's not dying, dude.
Yeah.
Well, Well, it's probably gonna be fucked up for a while. Though.
Let's face it. Let's face it. He's not.
It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be an easy road, probably. I wish you the best of luck.
Prayer's going downhill.
It's a morbid.
I hope he gets better and he just comes and punches Paul right in the face.
Anything with the spine. Anything with the spine,
No, stop.
Just be careful, Brian.
Okay. All right. Good. Amen.
Well,
Amen.
All right, boys. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you guys.
See you guys.